Is it that I'm supposed to pick? Stop cam, mute, settings. What the hell's present? And what's that? Must be more crap than that. Brand. What's brand? Banners, brand, private chat, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, what's this? Oh, like that is it. This is an example of a banner. It's shit banner. Let's call the Hillary up. Got stuff to do. Why is it so big? Ah! Trond, can you hear me, mate? Guessing you can't. Ha! Good. Don't have to type. I'm just testing Streamyard because I don't know what I'm doing. Not a clue. No idea. It's got so many things on it. I don't even have them in the right place. Ah! So it's working, Lil. It's all working all right. Tron turned up. Look, I thought he was working. Brilliant. It's a bit bright, isn't it? Or is it me? I've no idea what all these other things are. New layout, edit layout, cinema layout. Don't know what the hell all that is. Picture in picture. I don't know what I'm doing at all. I'm going to click something now, it might go off. No, it didn't. Okay. Can I just... You're off 4 weeks. That's a nice vacation, mate. 4 weeks. Wow. Need to move to Norway. Surprised Sharon hasn't turned up, actually. Let's tell her. Yeah, she's usually pretty annoying, isn't she? With the popping in. I was talking to her earlier about isopods. She's got a thing about isopods. At least this is working. Because I've got... We had 4 weeks with pay. Wish I had 4 weeks with pay. In fact, a day would be good where I'm not awake all the time. Seems like I'm just awake forever. It's tiring, very dull. Sharon's talking to me on Discord, by the way. I don't know what's going on anywhere. Totally confused. I'm sure there was another one, wasn't there? There wasn't just Streamyard. I'm sure there's more than this. Don't know, though. Oh, it feels a bit weird sat up here. I feel like Chaz, actually, at the moment. Might start making silly noises. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I had no plan or anything. I just thought it was quiet for the day. I could mess around and see if I could get StreamYard working. So it wasn't... Last time I had it working on a laptop, but the camera quality was absolutely awful. It was dire. And I picked a bad day because I lost my glasses yesterday. I've actually got 2 pairs of glasses on here, one on top of the other. Otherwise, I can't see. So it's extremely weird. Hi, Sharon. Told you, look, I wasn't lying. Not doing much with my hair, is it? At least I know now it's working. Now I can't see a bloody thing. Wait a minute. I have to get these just right. Yeah, well. Yeah. I am. It's got to be done. Hey, I can't see otherwise. I can't see anything at all. I've got these mantis to pack. And it took all morning just to glue like a dozen mantis in little pots. Is it a dozen? Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yeah. And now I've got to pack them and post them. And I'm just going to get round to that in a minute. But I've got a mantis there and a mantis there, threatening to lay, and neither of them are doing. This one's just watching me. You should join the stream. I do honestly feel like Chaz at the moment. Chav. I don't feel like a chav. Never felt like a chav. But I do quite feel like Chaz at the moment. It's weird when you're on your own because there's nobody else giving any input. And you have to try and think of something. I have nothing planned whatsoever because obviously I was just testing. And yes, it works. I sort of have internet in here, which is good. Still no light. Still no window blind. But internet. So got the priorities right. You know what I mean? I don't know how far behind this is. I have to have a look. How do you invite people? Do what? Joe, come on, Sharon. Because she types so slow. Hello? Yes, no. Oh. Hi. So I'm saying I don't know what I'm doing. Shut up, you. I don't know what I'm doing, Trond. So I've opened up StreamYard, like, I think this is the 2nd time ever. And the other pair of glasses keep falling down, so I can't see anything. Could have been worse. Do I have to do anything other than that? Is there like a thing? Shut up, you woman. Don't know what I'm doing. Don't forget me glue gun, woman. New glue gun. Oh, and me flies. New glue gun and flies, woman. I don't hate this delay. Ah, Trond. Wait a minute, mate. I don't know what I'm doing. Aha.
Hello.
Right. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, I can now, yeah. It's all right.
Yeah.
My speakers were off. I just moved my PC and everything else in here because it was in another room. So I just set it all up, and obviously I'm on my own, so I couldn't have anyone say anything. Your internet is sight. It's sight, is it, Sharon? Do you mean shite?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one's for you, mate, not me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I've got no kilt on, so it can't be me. What the hell?
Can you see me?
Yes, we can.
Ah, good. I won't be long because I don't have headphones, so I'm not going to be very loud. I'm on the bus. Hi, Tron.
You're on the bus.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so
Yes.
it's working. So it's working.
Go on, you can start off now.
Okay. Just to let you know that everything is working well. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
Tron. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Greg, you all right, mate? I don't know why, but wait a minute. Here we go. Ha! There, figured it out. This is what I needed to do. I need to mess about with it and figure it out. Otherwise, I'll end up clicking on things I don't know. What are you
Yeah.
up to, Greg? That's the wife, mate. She was just confirming to me that it works. She was on a bus, so it definitely works. How many
Yeah, and
scorpions have you got, Trond?
Scorpions. I have 2, 4, 6, 9 at the moment.
Just 9. I thought you had a lot more than that.
Yeah, I did, but I lost a lot
Like in the
earlier.
winter or...
Yeah, I bought them from the wrong seller.
Right.
So
The
I
wild
lost
hog.
19.
19.
19 in
Wow.
a span of 1 week.
So you lost more than you actually have,
Yeah,
which is...
because I started very slow collecting, and then I found this guy and he had quite a lot of species that I wanted. So I just ordered everything he got, and he was selling them way too small.
Right.
So they survived the first feeding and then they were all gone.
You get that a lot with the same with mantis and stuff. You
Yeah.
get that way. And spiders, isn't it? I've heard that with spiders as well, with tarantulas. But you get a lot of people selling like that they've just been hatched and they're selling them already.
Yeah.
They haven't gone past the phase where the die-off phase yet. At that point, you need to get to like the 3rd, 4th instar before you can sort of say I'm confident these are going to survive unless you do something wrong.
Yeah.
My part of it, my part of the job is done. So this is your problem now. You've got to keep them alive. But up to that point, they're really easy to die off.
Yeah.
I fed, I think, 100 last night. I think it was four of them that were dead. But that's just die off.
Yeah, that's just the way of life. But
they only hatched last week. The day Sharon was here, actually, they hatched that morning. So it was like Thursday or Friday. And I only had 4 die, so it's pretty good, that. I mean, people think like, oh, they actually got 100, and you've got 100. You haven't got 100. You've probably got 70 out of that 100. You know, by the time you get to the 3rd instar, you probably lost 30 of them.
Yeah.
Which, I like to say, is pretty similar for most, isn't it?
Yeah.
Centipedes are supposed to be pretty good, though, aren't they?
Yeah. They're supposed to be a bit hardier.
Well, the mother looks after them, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So, I mean, whereas a lot of the other creatures, like the spiders and the mantis, mother just leaves them and, you know, get on with it. And they get...
Yeah, and with the scorpions, they live their first molt on their mom's back. But you have no guarantees. She might just turn around and eat them.
That's nice, isn't it? Eh?
So
our mothers aren't like that. Did you lose anything lately, Greg? I don't think any of us like losing things. It's just that a lot of us buy stuff like wild, and they end up coming and they're wild caught, and you don't know how old it is. You don't know the conditions it was kept in. You know, you don't know what the travel conditions of some of the animals are just unbelievably bad. You know, they put everything in one big box and just good luck, send it. And half of them are dead when they get here already. And it's very sad, the wild caught. I really don't like the wild caught. I've had quite a few wild caught millipedes. I won't buy them anymore. And every single one died over a short period of time. Yeah. I mean, weeks.
Yeah, so I'm not ordering from that guy anymore. That's for sure.
Is it someone we can know about?
No, it's a Norwegian.
Oh, right. So
small person seller thing. So I found one breeder I'm going to order from in Germany. He seems like he knows what he's doing.
I know a few mantis.
I've seen some reviews and stuff, and he only sells I think it's from the 4th instar and up. And if you want earlier, you have to specifically order smaller ones if you want to, but then you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah, it's just luck, isn't it? And it's any other of food. Oh, I was just reading what Greg was putting there. There are a few UK sellers that are a bit dodgy, but I think most of us know about them.
Yeah,
I think that's where it is. I mean, especially with the streams, I've noticed a lot of the streams. We all appear to get our stuff from a similar bunch of people. And we know that they've actually been looked after, and we know you're not going to get just any old crap. You know, because I've got 12 mantis in I'm sending out this morning, today. And I've gone through them all, and any what I thought a bit small, you know, a bit runtish, I put them to the one side. I mean, I'm not going to send them out. I won't just pick up the first 12. You know, I'll select who I think looks the healthiest to go out that day.
Yeah.
And then the other ones I'll put to one side now. I'll keep an eye on them and feed them up if I don't think they look healthy, and find out why. Some die, some don't. Some are just slow to molt. Where you're expecting them all to be I3 or I4 now, and you've got one still at I2. It's just a bit slower. That's all. But sometimes they die, and that's not something I want to do. Sharon, probably can't see this. Actually, got terrible lighting because of this. Where's this? I got 3 boxes of this stuff. Different species of moss.
Yeah.
I was going to get. I went for a walk yesterday in the woods with the missus and that. And after collecting these boxes of moss, I was going to get Sharon some as well. She was asking for some fresh moss. I lost my glasses. So the rest of the day I spent looking for my glasses, and I didn't get any more. I just ended up with 3 of these small boxes of moss. So I'm a bit sad about that. So I had all sorts of things in my head. I took catch pots and everything. So let's find isopods and all sorts of things. I just came back with these 3 cricket boxes full of moss. I'm so pissed off about that. And that's why I'm doing this now. Otherwise, I can't see anything. Not a thing. It's a bit of a go. Yeah, you can't have them. Too late. Been claimed. I will get you some, Sharon. I will get you some, promise. Next time you go, I'll get a crap load. Probably in the next week, I'll be getting some more moss and some bark and some all sorts of stuff.
When she gets over, she can have as much moss as she wants.
Yeah, you've got some great mosses, haven't you? In Norway. I mean, you got it
the whole
everywhere.
country, it's just moss. It's everywhere.
I've seen because I really like my moss. I'm big on the moss. I don't like the dead stuff that people buy, and it's awful.
Yeah.
I prefer to buy, not buy, but collect my own moss, which is easy for me to say because I can get out and do it. But I've just noticed there, Greg's got some moss coming. Now, as you know, Greg's in a wheelchair, so he can't exactly say it. Like me, I could go say after this stream, I was like, okay, I'm going to the woods now and get some moss.
Yeah.
For me, it's easy. I always thought to myself, my God, why are people buying moss without actually realizing not everyone's in a position to just go outside and grab it? And it's scandalous. Have you seen the price of moss?
Yeah, it's crazy.
You can just go out literally and grab it and come back with a sack full. I mean, every year I've got hanging baskets, and they're really long ones. Like, the things you put hay in for horses to eat.
Yeah.
The big long things.
Yeah.
Every year we go out and we get like 4 or 5 big shopping bags full of moss, and it takes about 20 minutes to fill these bags, and just to put round the hanging basket. And then I go online. You go on eBay and you see this moss, the same moss, and it's not even a handful for like £5.
Yeah.
I could probably get rid of all my mantis and make a fortune if all this was moss. You know what I mean? Just selling moss. That's stupidity. I'll make a point of that, Greg, of remembering next time I'm out. I will absolutely. There's some. I can't remember it's called. Which moss it is now? It's quite a common moss. I can't remember its bloody name. But there's one that grows without attaching itself to anything. So basically, it's like just a ball of moss, if you like. I can't decide whether this camera's over here or over here. Sorry. So what I'll do, I'll grab a bunch of that for you and send you some of that because like it doesn't weigh anything. The stuff I got yesterday is just got a great big lump of clay at the bottom of it because I just stick a paint scraper up and grab the lot, and I'll just transport this straight into an enclosure, which for me is nice and easy. So this other stuff, it doesn't weigh anything. It's really just post it. It's not a big deal. I can send loads of it. But I reckon 2 boxes of this are probably looking at about 1 kilo. So because of the clay, with it being compacted clay, and it's wet. Only about 6 weeks, and she might be in a better situation. Oh, give her my best, Greg.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, Trond.
Speedy recovery.
And your situation is bad enough without adding, adding more shit to it. Really, it's I was going to say it's not 9 o'clock, but it's my channel, so you can say, I don't give a toss. If people don't like it, that's their problem. Yeah, I'll get you some moss. And Cheryl, I'll get Sharon some moss as well. You can have the heavier moss. But yeah, I need some bark as well and isopods. God, isopods. I'm looking for a certain isopod. I've been looking for it for years. And I can't find it. No, I can't find it. And it's mostly because I live in the north instead of like down south where Nat is. There's tons of them. We're up here. I just can't find any. And it's really annoying because there's only 1 or 2. It's pretty rare. What's that? Yeah, Sharon, stop moaning and complaining. God damn it. I'll have to get you a wheelchair. She go on, eh? She go up the stairs, mate. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Took her 20 minutes, but she got up the stairs. Hands and knees up the stairs. When she turned up, because you only see her on the streams, and before she came down, when she said she had a sore knee, I thought, like you bang your knee, just, oh, that's sore. I thought it was like that. And when she turned up and she had the crutches and everything, I didn't realise it was that bad. I didn't really was wonky knee. Yeah, I'm going to ask Lil to do that later, Sharon. We've got the suit and everything here. Gimp suit, ball gag, everything. Got it. She can do all that later. It's no problem. Just hope she doesn't watch this. I'm in trouble. So 4 weeks, mate.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Nothing.
Just nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing for 4 weeks.
Well, I'm coming over to England in the last week, or the end of the last week.
So that's 3.5 weeks of nothing.
Yeah.
You're not going to do some rehousing, buy some more scorpions?
Well, yeah, but I don't see that as any.
But it's a hobby, isn't it?
Work.
It's not hard work, though, is it? It's a hobby.
Yeah, it's a hobby. Yeah, there will be some scorpion orders, and I'm debating on going on a trip to Sweden.
Yeah, I have to work that out in my head.
Yeah.
Because for me, going a trip to Sweden would be a bit of a trek.
Yeah.
I mean, but for you, it's not that bad, is it? Thinking about it. Where was you in Norway? Are you near Oslo? Well,
No, I'm 5 hours away.
all right. Is that north or south or near Sweden? away from Sweden?
I'm all the way south.
Oh, right. So miles away from Sweden.
Yeah, it's only like 6 hours.
Yeah, it's miles away, isn't it?
So it's quite common to just
If
take
I
a
went
weekend trip.
6 hours that way, I'd be in France. So, you know what I mean? So for us, because we're small, it's like 6 hours is a fair distance to travel. Oh, Sharon's complaining now. You should have let her know. You never told her, mate. Why don't you fly over, Sharon? Got Sweden with him. Go on, we won't miss you.
And Denmark, it's there's a ferry from Kristiansand that's only 1.5 hours from me.
It's not too bad. And this is where
the ferry takes like 2.5, 3 hours.
Wow. This is what the Americans don't understand.
Yeah.
When we've all got passports and they're like, don't even bother because they never leave the country. It's like, for us, that's crazy because it's so easy, like a few hours either way, and we can be in a different country completely. I mean, like for me to go to Norway would be, it's not that long, is it, flying there from here?
No, 1.5 hour flight.
Yes. It's like 1.5 hours away, and you've got a totally different culture than we have. I mean, it's not even close. A lot of it, you know what I mean? It's just so strange to us. And we're probably strange to you, although you probably see ours more on TV and that, you know, because of Hollywood and that. But for Americans, they're like, they have to really travel a long time just to get, some of them, to get across a few states.
Yeah.
And by the time, I look at Texas and I think, wow, because England can fit in Texas, like, I think it's 8 times, something like that. Drive across England 8 times and still be in the same state. That's mind-boggling how big somewhere is like that.
Yeah, it's really strange, the different sizes. And
I used to live in India, and I was up near. It's near to them, but it's not to me. For me, it's like from here to London. I was just north of Delhi, and in the jungle at the top there, and like to go to where the Taj Mahal is took all day just to get to that point. I hadn't left the country, and we traveled all day. For me here in England, if I go all day in any direction, I've left the country already.
Yeah,
having a different one. You know, I can go an hour to the west and I'm in Wales. You know, 2 hours to the north, I'm in Scotland. It's 20-minute flight to Dublin. So it's awesome. So if I want anything that's in these places, it's really easy to get. I mean, to pick up yourself. Whereas for other people, it must be awful. I think we got a really good deal with where England is. You know, as far as being connected. That's probably why London's sort of considered business capital, because it's right in the middle of everything that's really important. We got really lucky with that. Oh. I mean, as far as the inverts are concerned, though, from what I've seen and what I've been asked, the hobby seems to be picking up a lot faster than I expected. It's like some kind of Rolling Stone. There's so many people getting into the spiders and the mantis and the scorpions that probably before would have gone out and bought a cat. And now instead of a cat, they're buying, like a scorpion or a tea or something.
Yeah.
And I'm finding that fantastic. Do you keep isopods at all?
I've tried.
You've tried?
Yes. They don't like it at my place.
Is it too warm, too cold, do you think?
I don't know. I've tried the orange ones. I can't remember the name. I had those for, I think it was 3 weeks, and they all just crashed and died.
Wow.
I've had the dairy cows for, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks, then just crashed and died.
Wow.
I've had the small white tropical bulletproof species. 4 weeks, crashed and died.
Well, Sharon, you have to get over there and show him what he's doing wrong, because like the
It's
three
the same with springtails. I've tried the dirt substrate, doesn't work. They all die. I've tried the American clay substrate that they brag about, doesn't work. They all die. I've tried the charcoal substrate, doesn't work. They all die.
I'm blown away with the isopods, because the isopods that you mentioned are probably the easiest to keep.
Yeah, that's why I got them.
The ones you just mentioned there, I find them in everything. I'm constantly taking them out and putting them in the right bin. They just, as soon as you get 2 somewhere, I've got 100, and they're constantly just popping up all over the place. So you must have something really strange going on wherever you're putting them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or...
Because scorpions and all the rest of it are doing great. I have desert species. I have the forest species, heterometers and stuff. So, and they're all doing fine.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, because what I was going to say is the isopod hobby is really picking up.
Yeah.
And it's a good hobby, because I was going to say anybody can keep them.
No.
Without any major efforts. It's just like, put this in a box, just don't let it dry up, and give it food, and it's going to survive. But obviously, you've pissed on me fire and proved that completely wrong. Because you are able to kill them. I don't know what you're doing wrong, really.
Nah, me neither.
I mean, have you like done any research on it and tried to find out what it is?
Yeah, not really. I've when I bought them, I did my research before I bought them, and when I bought them, I asked the seller how they was keeping it, so I could just copy that to the best of my abilities.
That's weird.
And nope.
I don't understand that. Unless it's something strange, like what you've been feeding them, or I don't know.
Yeah, I've been feeding the ones I've got, the orange ones and the dairy cows. I bought them, and they were supplied with food.
That's weird.
The same
the orange Lavis. Is
yes.
Yeah, bloody stacks of them. I mean, again, springtails. If you've got isopods, you get springtails by default. You just generally go crazy in your isopod box.
Yeah, it doesn't for me. I don't have any.
That's so strange. I mean, not being able to keep springtails. I have heard that though. There's springtails they can be high maintenance. I've heard people say, "Oh no, they're really easy." They're really easy if you've got the environment that they need naturally.
Yeah.
If you have to create that environment, you get this like jar of goo. And I've got some next to me here. I mean, these, I just stick these in a jar. I mean, they're absolutely going crazy. I've got this, you can't see them, obviously. There's thousands of them just bouncing around in there. I haven't opened that jar in weeks and weeks. It's just sat here near the window. And it's got mold in it and everything. That's a big pile of white mold, that. Where I literally dropped a strawberry in, put the lid on, and put it on the shelf. That's it. And the springtails go nuts when they've eaten all that mold and strawberry. I might use a few of them. But that's how easy they are to keep. I have them in substrate. I've got them in clay. They seem to do okay. I don't know what it is. I don't really do anything. I don't do anything at all. Nothing.
No, I don't know, because I'm part of a Norwegian plant group on Facebook, and I've seen more and more of people that keeping exotic plants. They get springtails in their, and they freak out and ask what it is, and I'm like,
yeah, they're just springtails. Send them to me.
Yeah, because they got springtails in their flower pots just sitting around in the house, and I can't even get them to thrive in a terrarium.
I don't know. I mean, I've had a few terrariums where I've made the terrarium, added springtails, and next time I've looked, there's been no springtails in there. I'm assuming because there's nothing for them to eat. But they generally come back after a while. I mean, it might even take them 6 months, but they generally come back. And it can
because
be...
all the terrariums and stuff, I usually do lots of research, and I watched, I think, every video that Serpa Design has put out there. So,
hello.
Diana.
Hello. I saw you was on, so I thought I'd come and say hello.
I've never seen you before. Hello.
No, you haven't. Actually.
No, it was just sort of, you're lucky I saw you then. There was the thing on the screen. It doesn't tell me. It just appeared in the corner there. I had no idea who you was. So there you go. Because I can't see.
I saw it. So, what have you had done to your eyes?
No, I lost the glasses yesterday. I went to the woods collecting moss, and I lost my glasses. I don't need glasses to walk around. But if I'm looking at something like this, I put the glasses on. So I take them off. So I'm always putting them on and taking them off. And I'll either put them down somewhere or I don't know. But anyway, awesome.
Fair
what
enough.
I can see now is an old pair of reading glasses over my long distance glasses.
So
like amplified. It was either that or Sherlock Holmes time.
Oh, good.
So that's
are you not at work today, Trond?
no, I have vacation.
Oh, good. Yeah, I don't think I think we've decided Bristol's too far.
Oh,
but if Trond can make it.
Pardon?
Trond is going to Bristol.
Yeah, but it's 3 hours with an autistic little one in the car as well.
Yeah, but Trond has to meet Sharon.
This is true.
I hope she's not still on. She'll shout at me for that, but never mind.
I'm pretty sure she's lurking in the chat somewhere.
She probably is lurking, yeah. She's so slow at typing. I don't know if she uses the phone, but she's really, really slow at answering back. So in 10 minutes, she'll probably say something.
She usually watches on her iPad, so.
No, I think we sort of decided, because by the time we've got an 11-year-old dog as well,
All right.
who can't be left that long.
No, not really.
So.
I mean, I had a dog that was 19, you know.
Oh wow!
When I was a kid. 19 it died, yeah. Big Dalmatian though, it was usually lasted a bit long.
But you know what it's like? They need the toilet and their back legs.
Yeah. When it gets to the end, it's it can be a bit rough. Next door's got one, and they take it for a carry now rather than a walk. They just carry it to some grass and then put it down and let it do its thing and then pick it back up again. So it's like pointless in going anywhere, but oh well.
No, but my new pets are doing quite well from the IHS because I got a chameleon and a corn snake.
Yeah, I saw the. I'm really not interested in snakes. I think snakes are wiggly sticks. They're just.
Yeah.
I find them so boring.
My daughter. Well, I saw her and really liked her. So she was only £30, so it wasn't too expensive.
Well, if you like them, I mean.
Yeah. Well, I
can't stand tarantulas, but I mean, if you like them, keep them. That's
That's like for 2 years. I didn't get any tarantulas from the show until Steve Thorne gave Annabelle one.
No, not my thing. I've got. We've got 3 up there. That's it. I find it very comfortable.
I think I've got 6 now.
Oh, no.
Bye, Greg.
See you later, Greg.
Bye. I can't see the chat because I'm on my phone.
I did this before on a laptop. I tested it on my wife's laptop, and the camera's so bad on it. It was unbelievable, and I thought, I'll get this off, and I'll put my PC in here and do it on a PC.
As you can see, my phone's on charge as well.
No, I couldn't see the chat last time I did it, and my wife was in the other room on her PC shouting to me if I needed to know anything. So it's really weird because all I was doing, I just put the stream on because I was pairing Mantis, and I thought, okay, I'll just turn the camera on and pair the Mantis.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Fine, if they don't, I don't care. It's no big deal to me. And I mean, you're quite unlucky. I've got one here that's just about to lay an ooth.
Oh, wow.
And she keeps threatening that she's not doing it. I've got another one there as well. I've got I've got plant on each side of my desk, and I've got.
What happened to the one? There were 2 different types at the ooth.
Oh, she passed away before laying an ooth.
Oh, okay.
She was already quite old.
Right.
And it was a random thing. Like, I have them just hanging around.
Yeah, that's what I remember you saying.
Yeah, like when they get to adults, a lot of them, if I've got the space, I'll let them just wander about. I had one earlier somewhere. It was eating a locust on my window. It must have been an escaped locust. So they're quite handy for that. So I do tend to. I keep locusts in a big tank here, and now and again they can get out the top somewhere. I can't find where, but a couple will get out and they just be hopping around, and they get cleaned up by the stray.
I'm back on flipping micro crickets at the minute. I hate them.
Everything from fruit flies to, you can't see that. I don't know what I keep pointing for. You can't see that. I've forgotten it. Screen's gone like this now. But yeah, there's I've got fruit flies and springtails and micro crickets and beet weevils.
Oh, wow.
Sort of waxworms, mealworms, probably other things that I can't remember. Oh, yeah, cockroaches. A few different species of cockroaches for them. They never go without food. There's plenty of food. But
no.
To be honest with you, it's not just keeping up with the mantis. You've got to keep up with all the food.
Yes, because you have millions of babies.
I don't at the moment. Somebody bought nearly everything I had.
Oh wow! Was that the picture you sent me?
I don't know which one that was.
The one with kale and it had kale and gnats, and then loads of others.
No, it was before that. I got rid of even more. That was normal. Somebody just contacted me and said, "Have you got any cryptic mantis?" And I went, "Yeah, I've got a couple." Which I had several hundred of the damn things at the time. So how many have you got? And I said, "Well, fair few. How many do you want?" You said, "Well, all of them." I said, "Well, you can't have all of them because some of them are too young for me to send out. I won't send them out if they're too young." I said, "They'll just die in the post." So I'm not gonna kill a bunch of mantis for a few quid. I'm not interested in the money.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the mantis getting to you and being alive and healthy and well. So he grumbled about that. And I said, "Well, I'll send you all the ones I can send you." So sent him them. So I'm left with loads of things that I can't sell because they're not old enough. So I've ended up with like a couple of dozen shield mantis to sell. That was it.
I think that's the one that I've got as an adult.
Kirby Eye.
Yeah. No, shield or it could be Kirby Eye. It's brown.
Well, they're different colours. Kirby Eye can change colour when you molt.
Mine's brown.
Right.
My girl.
You can have them from almost like a very pale yellow to an almost.
No, mine's brown.
Yeah, I've got. They're actually born brown. And then they change colour. Like on the second, third molt, they'll change colour. And then they can change colour again whenever they feel like it, really. From what I've...
Trond, can you bring anything back if you get anything from the show?
Not really.
I was just wondering.
Not live things, anyway.
Apart from Sharon.
Well...
It's debatable whether she's alive, isn't it?
Excuse me.
10 minutes to give me shit for that. But there you go.
Yeah, Kale said to say thank you for the mantis, by the way.
She's welcome. I've still got some more to send out. That's why I've kept the others. Somebody else won in that giveaway. They still haven't emailed me. So I don't know what to do about that. They might end up with something completely different. I don't know. But if they don't email me, I can't send them, can I?
No, exactly.
Nowhere to send them to.
Yeah, indeed.
What can you do? She's going to lay a lot. No. Oh, she's messed me about for days, though. She's not laying.
You always argue with your mantis.
I do. I often have the wife shouting upstairs saying, "What do you want? Who are you talking to?" And I'm like, "I'm just talking to the mantis in general." You know.
I rehoused my piece as my sling. I know it's changed, but I don't know its new one. To somebody tried to tell me yesterday, but I was like, I won't remember that. And it was fighting with me over my paintbrush. I was like, no, you are gonna get off. So I used my tweezers.
Fingers.
This was only like tiny, like not even half an inch. It's a dot.
She's got one of them, yeah. Yeah. Rocky Palmer, something or other.
How many have you got due coming?
3 at the moment. But they're dragging their feet. Next ones will be Deadleaf Mantis and Ghost Mantis, which I can't stand anyway. Then we're on for the Giant Rainforest. So that's the next 3, I think. Yeah, that's the next 3.
I like the giant ones.
Yeah, the Rainforest. Yeah, I do like that. I've got Mitch sent me a Macro Mantis on my birthday.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
They're really big mantis. I mean, massive. They're huge mantis.
Are you going to breed them?
I'm thinking about it. I am thinking about it. I've only got one.
Oh, okay.
So I am considering it because I might have a word with Mitch when he gets back of holiday and say, I'll give you another 5, and I'll see if I can get them bred. I think this is a male. I'm not sure. I can't see.
You need to find your glasses.
I went this morning. Obviously, I had to get on the bus, and I was stood at the bus stop for like 35 minutes, and a little old lady come past me and she went, "Excuse me, love. Do you know the buses are on strike today?" And I'm soaking wet. And I was in the pouring down rain, standing there, miserable as hell, couldn't see. And they're on strike. So I just came home.
Oh, no.
So I have to wait again. I can't go till Wednesday now. I've got to put up with this till Wednesday. So, and then depending on Specsavers, I might end up having to wait a week because you know what they're like.
Yeah.
You're lucky, Tron. You're so lucky. Unless you've got contacts in.
No, no contacts.
So it's not fair. I hate people who can see. It's not fair, is it?
My daughter, when she first started her glasses, hated them, would not wear them, but now she will wear them.
I never wore them until I was 47. And then
She was like me. I got them when I was her age.
No, I never wore them. My wife's always had glasses, but she wears contact lenses, so she gets away with it.
Is she going to the show with you? Your wife?
Oh, yeah, she mostly buys more than I do. Because I don't buy pets, you see. When I go on buying like 5 or 6 of one species or 10 or whatever.
Yeah. And then breed them.
Yeah. So I'm not going to buy a pet. So when I go to a show, I'm not doing it for that.
Yeah, so
Because I want Balfouri.
Yeah.
From Bristol. He was Sharon very kindly. He's going to pick them up for me if I can't make it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because she lives down the road, Sharon. So
yeah, I don't think I'm going to go because I think it's going to be too much having autistic little one in the car for 3 hours bored.
Yeah, I couldn't cope with that anyhow.
Yeah, so I sort of decided no, I'll just wait because Bedford's only 25 minutes from me.
I can't remember where you were.
Milton Keynes.
That was it, Milton Keynes. Yeah. I mean, because you've got another IHS, haven't you, coming up?
No, they've cancelled that one, and they won't say why. It's top secret to what's happened.
They've cancelled it. That's nice, isn't it?
Under a confidentiality agreement is all we know.
That'd be nice if they moved it to Manchester again, where it should be.
It was a good show though, but I don't know what happened to make them change.
Hi, Kathy. Hi, Steve. Sorry.
Oh,
it's
joined.
I don't know. We had the 2 last year in Manchester. I went to both of those.
Yeah, I saw your videos for them.
And I thought, great, they've moved the venue to Manchester. We can actually get a show in the north.
Yeah.
Then they said, oh, no, we're putting both in Milton Keynes now. I mean, if you want to be fair, they stick them all in Birmingham, to be honest. So it's harder for all of us to get there.
Yeah, I don't know quite what went on. They've not said. They said they will release a statement, but not done it yet.
I might actually have to do a Thomas at some point from Out on a Rock and kick off.
He went to the show. I saw him briefly, but he didn't say anything because he was darting from the queue to McDonald's, I think. Because McDonald's
tables booked for his show in Sheffield.
Oh right, yeah.
But it's not worth me bothering with the ones down south. It just isn't. by the time you've gone down there with all your stuff,
Yeah.
and then you've got a hotel and the rest of it, and then you travel back. You just spent all your profit. What's the point of going? So for me, it's not worth doing a show down south.
I think it's yeah. Like I did look at hotels, but they were so expensive for the three of us, even just for a night.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, with the currency course and everything, because Norwegian money isn't worth anything anymore. So I wanted to go for 1 week, a whole week, but I couldn't afford that.
What's in Bristol?
Yeah, Jesus Christ, hotel for 1 week was. Yeah,
Bristol's like, well, the only way I can say Bristol is a shithole. It's supposed to be to charge money to stay there. They should be paying you to actually come in. It's an awful place. There's nothing.
There's not a lot there.
It's horrible. It's horrible. The best thing about Bristol is the Avon Bridge because it's on the way out. That's the nicest thing I can think of about Bristol. I've been there lots of times, and I look at it and I think, "Wow, this is horrible." Can't believe people live here. So, if you're from Bristol, anyway, I'm very sorry, but that's my opinion on it.
There's a few people from Bristol or near there.
Yeah, Kathy is saying she's from Bristol. She lives in Bristol.
Oh, sorry, Kathy.
And Sharon asked what she was doing for you, Simon.
Yes. If I ever bump into her now, she'll slap me. That really just not impressed with Bristol.
Like the only one that I'm looking for really is I want zebra isopods if they're there.
Maculata.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I've got maculatum, I think, up there. I don't know.
I haven't got them ones on my thing, so they're the only really ones that I wanted. But I've decided today, I was like, it's not worth it because she's just going to be moaning for 2 hours in the car.
I couldn't go with that. How long is it taking you to? Because you're coming to Manchester, aren't you, Trent?
Yeah.
So you're flying to Ringway, and then Sharon's, and then Bristol. That's a bit of an effort.
When are you coming into the UK, Trent?
I'm arriving Friday the 28th.
Okay.
When's the show? 30th?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. The Sunday the 30th.
Yeah, it is.
I know when the show is, even though I'm not going.
I put leaflets in when people buy a mantis or whatever. I put leaflets into. I've never looked at them. I just put them in, send them off. Just telling people when the shows are, because I got them from Tom as well. It's just one of them things. I was asking Claire, how long are you going to be home? I may go for a walk and join if you're still streaming. Actually, I wasn't going to be on, Steve. This was just a test, but yeah, go and do it. Go and do it. I'll hang around, I suppose. Sod off, Scooby. Oh, Scooby Snacks, right? The guy from the bus stop there. You see, I wasn't lying. The guy in chat there. I thought he was taking a piss, mate. I've just told that story. That's standing like a tool at the bus stop until someone told me, and it was this guy who was standing at the bus stop as well. If he hadn't said Stagecoach, then I would have thought it was just somebody, having a poke at what I've just said 10 minutes ago. I've just mentioned it, mate.
You did.
So yeah, there you go. I was standing at a bus stop in the rain, waiting for a bus. that was never going to arrive.
Have we worked out yet what Tron does to kill isopods yet?
We haven't.
Nope.
No, I think he's just a murderer. I think he just sleepwalks in night and gets them with a pin.
Even I can keep isopods alive, and I've got, I think, 12 types.
Yeah, it's just so easy to keep alive, aren't they? It's
I can't. I was talking to Thomas about it last night, and he
Because I've got I put
doesn't understand
the
either.
bag of like leaf litter and stuff that I get from where is it? Oh, I've forgotten their name. But they go to the show, and then I mix it with topsoil and leaf litter, and it seems fine. The only one I can't, the one I can't keep alive is millipedes. I don't know why when they're on the same substrate.
It's not. It's not. It's not quite the same. They really
They're very similar.
It's similar, but you really do need whitewood for millipedes,
Pardon?
especially the tropical ones. You definitely need to break up wood into it.
Yeah, no, I do add more wood to that one.
And a lot. I mean, I've got millipedes down there, and it's about that deep in substrate and that deep in leaves with wood broken into it as well.
Yeah.
In fact, the substrate, what I can say to you now for millipedes, is perfect, the same that you use for beetles.
Yeah.
The beetle larva, which is really finely ground up white wood. The compost itself and leaf litter.
Yeah. I don't know.
And
But some of them are wild caught, so you never know, do you?
We was discussing that earlier, and I was just saying I bought loads of wild caught ones from the spider shop, and every single one of them died within a week or two.
Yeah, that's what I've had.
Refuse to buy wild caught anymore. I will not.
I've had the only ones I've had that have lasted since January are the candy ones, the pills.
Oh, the pill bugs, yeah.
Yeah.
They're just glorified isopods, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
That's all they are. No, I don't think I've ever had them. I think I've had the British ones because we've got some. I think I've had them before because I do keep a lot of British species as well of millipedes and isopods and centipedes. I don't just keep the tropical ones.
Yeah.
I was saying the other day, some of our isopods are nicer than some of the tropical ones. They're actually better looking. You know, if you go like the Muscorum and the Rathkai and whatnot.
You may hear someone who's just come back from school.
Ha! To be all noisy.
Mantis garden.
Oh,
No. Do you? Well, I don't even know what kind of isopods you'd have in Norway, mate. Wild ones.
The brown.
Brown.
Yeah.
You must have more than one species.
Maybe. Haven't looked into it.
Never noticed.
Nah, because where I live, I think there's only one species because they all look the same and they're all the same size. So.
It depends where you're looking, though, doesn't it? I would have thought you'd have a few different ones. I mean, we've got 38 species here.
Yeah,
because I'm still looking for the one that you wanted, if I can find it in my garden.
Well, where you are, you should, 100%.
Pardon?
100% you should where you are.
Yeah.
Up here, nothing. They seem to get to Birmingham and then just go, I'm not going any further north. That's it. I'm not going. So I've been really looking for them for ages because I like to morph them. So I like them from the wild caught ones and try and get them, make my own magic potions, make my own pearls, make my own gems. Rather than go out and buy them. Because I do it for fun. That's the isopod part is the fun part, and it's a bit like experimenting.
My ones that have gone crazy the most are lavas, which are my favourite.
I've just morphed those. It took me a year to morph those from the ones in my garden. Just a
Oh, okay.
bog standard greys. And a year later, I've got a big box full of lava. But it's every other day you've got to check them and make sure check out what you want, separate them. And I've got all sorts of other ones there as well. By doing that,
All right, I'm I'm gonna go now and say hello to her because she's disappeared.
Well, nice to meet you, Diana.
Yeah, you too. And we'll
Talk to you a
talk
million
again
times.
an email.
All right.
All right. See you later. Bye.
See you later. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I think maybe it has to do with the climate also, because
it could be. I mean, I'm pretty sure the likes of Sweden doesn't have many. I have checked on Scandinavia.
yeah,
And well, throughout all Europe, I class Scandinavia and Britain as not part of Europe. So when I say Europe, I just mean that bit over there. I don't see us as being Europe because we are separated.
yeah,
And Scandinavia is so different from the rest of Europe that I don't count it as Europe. I count it as it's just Scandinavia. So you've got the 4 countries and I did check for your isopod species because I had a friend in, I think it was Finland, and he was asking about one of these isopod species, and I'd never seen them. And it was their local one, their native caught one, and I'd never seen them. I thought, I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? Never seen it before.
where I live, they are everywhere. You can find them everywhere.
You don't know what they are?
No, and they all look the same. Same size. So I think it's only one species, maybe 2 if you go in the forest and look really hard.
Are they like the roly-poly ones? They roll up?
No.
No. I bet they're ladies or Scaba or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Throughout entire Europe and Scandinavia and England and everywhere, actually.
I haven't looked in many, many years. So I see them all the time, but when I was a kid, I was running around collecting them. But that's a few years.
A few years for you. Can you imagine how many years for me? I'm still doing it. I've got. Yeah. We just got a bit of land out the back. Like the garden goes to a certain point, and then we've got the land now that's further back than that. And since then, I've been going there and finding a different species of isopod than the one I used to find in my garden. And all that's separating them was a fence. We took the fence down. I go in there, and there's a different species that I'd never seen before in my garden. And I generally get 4 species in my own garden. And I've got 5.
Yeah.
So it proves that the isopods can sort of have this little community in one spot and stay there.
Yeah.
They go slightly out of that spot and they're gone. It's not to their liking. But back to the way you're keeping them, it might be the same sort of thing. They're used to this. They want it like this. You're not providing it, so they don't want to be there.
Maybe.
That's all I can think of. I mean...
Yeah. Do you guys have local centipedes?
We do. We have 40 species of centipede.
Oh.
Including a Scolopendra. So that's not native, though, but they are here.
Yeah, but native?
Native, 40, I think it is. Let me just check for you. I'm in the British Myriapod Association.
Oh.
Centipedes. Oh, God, no, there's more than 40. Yeah, more than 40 centipedes. Much more.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know of. Oh, hey Philip. I know of 2 species where I live.
Yeah, giant scolopendra, giant centipedes. Yeah, they're accidentally imported on potted plants, so we do have them. Hi, Philip. So we do have, yes, scolopendra. But we do have one scorpion as well, don't we? That's imported.
Yeah.
That now lives here. So we have. Did you have centipedes? Do you actually keep them?
No.
Oh, right. I used to. I used to have a couple of scolopendra. And
I used to have the local ones, the native species, but I haven't had for a long time.
I've got a couple of those. Generally, just throw a cricket in now and again. I don't look at them that much. It's ones that come in, because I collect so much bark and moss.
Yeah.
And I'll put it in one of those, like what you use for isopods, the big tubs.
Yeah.
And I'll put it in there to sort of like get things out of its system, give it a shake. And if something comes out that I find interesting, I will keep it. I will keep it. Like in the beard, mate.
What's going on?
I like the beard.
It's getting there. This is about several months, if you call it that.
I think if it gets a little bit longer, you're going to start buying tarantulas.
I don't think I'm ever going to get there. A buddy of mine I used to hang out with used to say that when I don't shave like this, it looks like someone shaved their pubes, put it in a shotgun with glue, and just shot it out on my face, and where it hit, it stuck. So, again, sorry about the view.
Yeah. The alopecia of the beard, mate.
There you go.
That's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like.
Try to get the camera in focus. I apologize. Yeah, it's been interesting, the weather here. It's either raining nonstop or just beautiful like it is right now. And I haven't been able to get out much in it.
It's been very nice here for 2 weeks. And my mother-in-law and her other half came on Friday. And it started raining. And it's forecast raining now for all the time that they're here. It's going to be nice the day they go home. So I'm saying nothing about that, okay? You can imagine what I'm thinking. There's some witches involved here. Definitely.
And if I heard, is the other gentleman, is it Trond? You're in Sweden, right?
No,
Norway.
Norway. Okay, I apologize.
Yeah, no
I've been
worries.
half listening while trying to get ready.
It's a long way from you, mate. Steve's
It
from
is, yeah.
Michigan.
Oh,
Because somebody has to be. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that full screen here. I can't see.
And one thing I'm trying to start to navigate on StreamYard, I think I've talked to you before, is I don't know if I'm not familiar with how to get it to switch cameras. Like I say, if I would like to switch and have you guys see this,
yeah.
but
Are
I
you
got
on
to
the phone?
turn my camera.
Do you know Trump?
Yeah,
What's that? I'm sorry?
If it's on the phone, you need to push the. There's a button that says more or something, or 3 dots, and you go to settings and you go to camera.
Ah, I think I may see what you're talking about. Oh, you are awesome.
Yeah. I can see it as well now. Yeah.
I'll have to play with that in a minute. I don't want to do it right now in the middle of this.
Yeah, you can play with it. That was the reason for the stream in the first place, Steve, was to mess with StreamYard.
Yeah, I want to go walk.
Because I didn't know what I was doing to set it up. The idea was that I set it up in here, get the camera working, the microphone working. And the wife was going to just join, and then I could work out how to do that joining thing. But then Tron joined, so I'm still here. Oh, look at that moss.
Yeah, looks nice.
Yeah. Sort of looks nice, mate.
Oh, hey.
It's not like
I
this
have
one.
a natural moss wall going here.
Look at that, Steve. Yeah.
Oh, come on. What is that? I can't really see. It looks like, is that dead grass?
I got a few boxes of it yesterday, just hanging around. Unfortunately, I then lost my glasses, so I couldn't get any more. But yeah, we went out yesterday with the intention. All I've come back with was a film of ducks because that's all I could see. Because that was it. But I went out with the intention yesterday of filming the walk, the finding the moss, looking for the isopods and other things, and that didn't happen because of my glasses. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed at that because I was hoping to do a video a day this week. That's what I was going to attempt to do because I have things coming tomorrow for unboxing and some Wednesday for unboxing. So that left me with Thursday and Friday at Phil. Obviously, I filmed today without that video anyway because I'm here on this. But yeah, that was my intention.
A video a day is a lot.
Sorry?
Said a video a day is a lot, just natural, especially if you have to edit any of it.
What? Yeah, I wasn't going to do much in the way of editing. I don't really get the time to edit, but the mother-in-law's here, and if I'm gonna sit here, then they can't go upstairs and annoy me. So it's a good way of getting out of it. See you later, Scooby. Thanks for dropping in.
Oh, I forgot. I can't really. Oh, there. I can see the comments now. Nice. Okay.
Hi, Norfolk. You're all right, mate.
How did you say that name? Norfolk?
Norfolk. It's not Norfolk. It's like another thing irritating that Americans say. Edinburgh. If someone says Edinburgh, I want to rip their heads off. I hate it. It's awful. Have you gone to Edinburgh? That sounds like somewhere in Sweden, doesn't it? Let's be honest. It does, doesn't it? Edinburgh.
Yeah. It sounds like part of the Swedish, Finnish, Russian border.
Yeah.
Everyone should just learn to speak American and things would be so much easier.
Yeah. Sure, mate. Sure. Speak American. Here you go. You'd be proud of this then. Look at that. Oh, you can't see it, can you? Look at that. Inches, mate.
Well, what was that exactly? It was very small on my screen.
It was my set square. It's in inches. I can't use centimeters. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm too old. I'm still old British, where we still used imperial. That's still me. Fractions make more sense than that. Everything's divided by 10 business.
A damselfly just landed on my arm and I couldn't get it on film. That sucked.
The other day I went up the canal and there was hundreds of damselflies all the way up it. And I hadn't taken my phone with me. I was going to catch them. I thought, oh, no phone. No.
I was talking to someone about the difference between damselflies and dragonflies. Ooh.
Slightly different, you know what I mean?
I got a cough. Let me see.
Steve. He's gone now. Look, he's muted himself. What did you learn about the difference? He's gone again, look at him. Don't know what he's doing, does he? Typical American, mate.
Sorry, I was looking at something.
Yeah.
I get so incredibly distracted out here.
What did your dad win, Norfolk? I couldn't even get on it, mate. I knew the giveaway was last night, but I couldn't even get on it because I had no eyes.
Can you guys see the damselfly over there?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
I can only just see my PC, mate. See the damselfly? No. The only reason I'm sat here now is because I can't feed my mantis. I should be feeding mantis. But I can't seem to feed them, so the wife's going to have to feed them when she gets home.
I don't understand sometimes. Like, I talk to you and I talk to Wally. You guys have so much going on. And I don't understand how you guys just find time to do stuff like this. It fascinates me because I have 15 maybe bins of isopods in my African fat tail. And it's hard for me to find time sometimes. I don't understand how. And you, I mean, specifically, you talk about how you sit for hours and, watch eggs or feed one, watch two mantises mate for an hour. I'm like, dude, how can you just, I mean, I love it. It's enjoyable. Sometimes it fascinates me because I can't find time for stuff like that, or I have to fight so hard to find 2-hour block to just be able to devote to nothing but that. And man, that sounds amazing. I guess I get to come out here and do it. Like I get to focus on stuff, but it's fascinating how you guys can manage all that.
I think it's a case of you've got to, haven't you, really? If you commit to the animals, then you've really got to think of them and put them first.
Yeah, I guess in my defense, I have my 3 little other animals that I take care of. So
You've got those. I mean, this one keeps looking like she's going to lay, but she's not. She's still not laid. I was hoping she would lay while I was doing this. I'll just put the camera on her instead of me. Where she was laying on Ruth, but she's just not bothering. She just can't be asked. No. Yeah, neither can she. So I've got one on each. Neither of them can be bothered. I was just sat there like, oh yeah, whatever. I'm probably disturbing them being here, to be honest. They're a bit picky. Francis, they can be like, you're watching me, and they make eye contact with you. Which sounds ridiculous, but they'll do. They'll just look at you and make eye contact, and it's like
this.
Yeah. But then they'll follow you around, like you move around the room, and they'll move the head to follow you around the room.
That is one incredibly fascinating things. I'm just, again, finding out as I venture into different animals is how, again, it probably sounds silly, but just how intelligent so many animals are. Like you're saying, when you stop and see whether it's thought process or they're taking you in, it's very interesting. I think how, out here when I'm, the first time I interacted with garter snakes out here and toads and all that, just seeing how the different ways that they, again, interact with you. But everything, like I say, I'll see fish here that are, I just saw a big old turtle go under. Stuff like that. Like I was surprised at the fact that, turtles can see you underwater from 20, 30 yards away, and it seems like a no-brainer thing, but I'm just like, the water is filthy and I can't see through the top 2 inches of it, but they can see me 30 yards away and pop down. It just, again, silly trivial stuff like that fascinates me, that I think, again, we tend to, I don't necessarily think it's bad that we overlook it, but like we say, sometimes we have to slow down and look at things to truly appreciate them differently.
Yeah, jumping spiders are
yes,
making things. You ever look at a jumping spider and you move, the jumping spider will turn to follow you, and that's pretty much the same as a mantis. It's all equivalent to a mantis, but the mantis just turns its head, which makes it more intimidating. but the jumping spider will move round to watch you, and that's just scary. You think about it, you know it's thinking about you, looking at you, and it's thinking about you. You know what you're up to, and they're supposed to be really smart as well. Jumping spiders. Bit difficult to prove, though, isn't it?
Yeah, quantifying intelligence from animal to human, it like you're saying, because I always am curious about how much of what we think is rational, thought out actions are more instinctual and less intellectual and more natural. So it's, it's kind of like, what is naturally better or more proficient versus what is better to think something out and deduce things. I don't know. It's, what would that be, like instinct versus calculation? I don't know. Jeez, this place looks so different after just like 2 days of rain. It's insane. It's so lush.
We get that. I got lost in my own woods the other day coming back. I mean, I don't mean lost. I mean, I got confused for a second.
Yes.
Because
that happens to me fairly frequently.
And it didn't grow like 3 or 4 feet. I was like, where am I? I was taking a nap for a second just because of that. And it's mad. It is mad. I don't know.
Could you guys see that?
Yeah.
I had to turn my camera around because it's on the, I can't see it, but
I can't see it.
Sorry about that. I have no idea what you saw, but that heron started to come in here and fly. So I got down low and took my hat off, and he stopped about 20 feet in front of me. If you could rewind it, check. I don't know, but that was neat. I don't know if you guys could see that. I'm sorry. Again, I wish I had it where I could just flip my camera, but that was neat. That was Homie the blue heron, who me and him have a very long past. He scared the crap out of me one time when I was walking through here in the winter. He was up in the trees and I didn't see him, and I got about 20 feet close to him, and he just took off out of the trees. And those are some big birds, they're pretty massive. And he scared the crap out of me.
Heron's that big.
Man, I hope that was visible, because that was actually kind of neat.
Yeah, it was.
And one thing I'm happy about, like I always say, in Michigan at least, I don't have to worry about mountain lions, snakes, alligators, scorpions, things like that. I can just kind of walk out here, and anything that I get hurt by is my own stupidity.
So it's like being here, but without the moss, isn't it, really?
Oh, Simon.
It's the same here. I mean, there's nothing here that can kill you or eat you or bite you or sting you. So it's like, just go wherever you want. I think
There isn't.
Sorry?
You don't have anything that's...
No, nothing.
No native snakes, nothing?
We've got 3 snakes. One's a grass snake, which is fine. We've got the adder, which you never see. Very few people have seen one. And they're specific places anyway. They're all protected areas where they are. And we've got the slow worm, which is basically a worm. As far as I'm concerned, if you look at it, it's a lizard without legs. And that's it. And none of them are poisonous already. The adder's a bit poisonous. I think the last death was hundreds of years ago, and it was only like... They're not... No big deal.
Lucky you. We have
That's gonna be our next question. What about Norway?
we have one snake that's really dangerous. It's in the viper family. We have wolves, bears. We don't have big cats. We have lynx.
What about do you have I only asked specifically because I saw out here a month ago a marten, like a ferret kind of marten. Do you guys have any kind of those mustelids? Weasels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have lots of those, and we also have. Let me see the translator.
Pine martins. We have those.
Wolverines we have.
Nice.
Of what,
That's my
sorry?
favorite mustelid. Sorry.
Wolverine.
Yes.
Man, I am covered in bugs.
Absolutely nothing here. Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. No. No bitey spiders. Scorpions. No.
And I will. That is, again, one of the things I love the most about Michigan specifically is if I go 2 or 3 hours north or further, basically the further north you go in Michigan, for the most part, you get away from the city. So as an example, we actually do have a rattlesnake here in Michigan. But as I kind of was getting to, you have to be more up in the northern part where we are not yet, and they're not around here. And up north specifically, like in Norway, not as abundant, but then you start getting black bears and wolves and things like that, and that's not near here. But like I say, what I love about it is if I want to, I can take a 2-hour trip, make a day of it, and go see all of that, be immersed in it. In Michigan, it's great.
Well, I could take a 2-hour trip as well and be immersed in that. It would have to be to Norway, though. But,
And it's humid. It's like 80 or 90% humidity right now. It's sticking to me as I walk around. It's rather gross.
Look at that, mate.
49. Now, what is a 49 humidity in American?
I'm pretty sure it's the same.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah. It's only 22 degrees in here, actually, at the moment, which is quite nice. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
Right now, it's only about 70, maybe 75 degrees. But like I say, I've been waiting for it to stop raining. It's been raining nonstop this morning. And as it stopped kind of right around the time your stream came, I was checking if it was going to stay clear, then started getting ready. So, the humidity is kind of ridiculous right now. And it's just going to get hotter. It's supposed to get to like 80 or 85.
71 here. That's what it's in this room now. But outside, it's 60 maybe less.
Lucky.
It's pretty horrible out there.
Yeah, I don't like when the weather sticks to you. That's no fun. Unless it's snow.
Yeah, well, ours is just wet. Horrible and rainy and wet and cold it's been. To say it's like summer, we've got like 60 degrees. And it's 60, isn't it? 15? Well, it's 13 right now.
What was that you said? What was the temp?
I'm just checking now. It's 55.
Gotcha.
55
Yeah, that's kind of perfect.
right now. And it's pouring down. Horrible, rainy, wet, miserable, dark, cloudy. Yeah, it's just awful. And there's a locust on my window, I just noticed. Some random reason, and the sun's just come out now as well.
Oh, well, that's fortuitous. Can you see the junk on the other side there?
Sorry?
Can you see the junk on the other side of there where the beaver dam used to be, like wood piles?
Yeah.
So just a little context, 2 years ago, there used to be a beaver dam right all up in here. And because it was causing so much water to flood out, they removed it. They dumped all the stuff there. But what I want to go do, like I've been talking about, first it started with isopods, but now I'm looking for snakes and stuff. Like I want to go there and just start flipping all that wood. It's what's the term? Herper or herperologist, whatever. It's one of their dreams over there. More so because a lot of it's like a mix between human junk and just wood that the beavers used. I want to get across there, but I got to put my waders on. So much to do.
At least you got the weather.
What's that?
At least you've got the weather for it. I mean,
yeah, I don't deal. This is about as hot as I like it. I don't deal with heat well. That's one of the worst parts about summer for me personally. Is as much as I want to get out, it's like putting my. I guess it is like putting myself out in the oven. Sometimes I didn't deal with heat well when I was in the Marines. I preferred cold weather. I lived in Michigan. I say I love the winters, but the heat. If I could oversimplify my opinion on the heat or the summer, it's that I don't think it's good when the only way to enjoy the weather is to literally get out of it. If it's cold, I could put on another layer. I can walk, run, jog, start a fire, something like that. But once it's hot, you can either get in cold water to the point your lips turn blue, again, which is just one other form of torture, or stay out there and bake yourself and sweat to death. And I'm not a fan of either of those. I think I told you in some comment, it's the ogre's choice. You die slow or die fast.
nah.
It's like me. I can't stand the hot weather as well. But I can't stand the cold either.
I can appreciate that. I am the one weirdo who, in fact, like I said, the cold. I think the cold, and this is me personally. Again, it invigorates me, but I think it's just more challenging. I don't know, and it's one of the other things that are, I just say it fascinates me. How the internet opens up so many different doors to things, but what I'm specifically getting at is I've talked with people who have never seen snow or never experienced snow. It's just, again, and just the internet being able to connect someone in Thailand, you know what I'm saying? Or in Peru, they have that in the mountains there, but some places like that who they've never seen that and experienced it. It's just fascinating. And one of the things I am looking for, I've been talking to Doolittle Exotics. Now he's a guy out in California here about doing something like this, where we go out on Streamyard, and basically I'm going to go out on my hike and he's going to go out on his hike, and kind of just do that comparison, the weather, the layout, whether the fauna, the flora, all of that, just kind of for like a direct spider side by side. And I think that, I want to find more people willing to do that in other places, just because, even you, I know you don't like to walk around because there's not a lot of moss. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm sure UK aside from that is pretty nice. You should show it off a little bit.
we'll have to do. Well, I intended to do that yesterday, yeah, but we'll have to do that side by side thing with the streaming.
Dueling hikes.
We'll have to do that.
That stuff would be fascinating to me. Both, like I said, because you even we talk about some of the how stuff is different, but like you have some of the same species, some of the same fauna, all flora and fauna. It's just, I don't know, all that stuff fascinates me to no end.
You've got a lot of stuff like elephant ears there that just hanging around.
What are they?
The elephant ears you've got hanging around.
See, that's stuff I'm not even familiar with.
Plants, mate. Plants. Elephant ears.
Well, see, and this is where it's just interesting. Elephant ears in America are a pastry. It's like a big, I don't know, big pastry with sugar, and some people put fruit on it, like a big flat, looks like an ear, and then you just eat it like that.
I haven't. I would have shown you. Yeah, you've got them hanging around. I've seen them a few times on your streams. We buy those as exotic plants.
Really?
Yeah, we keep them in the house, and you've got them. I've seen them in your streams, just in the woods there on the floor. I'm thinking, yeah, we buy those.
See, that's one thing. And I hung out a couple times with the gentleman, Nick, and he's a lot more botanically minded than I am. And in walking around here, he's just like, oh, there's creeping Jenny, there's horsetail, all these things that, I'm not aware of, that to some degree, because I'm, again, now talking about botanicals and how to propagate, I'm trying to navigate how some can be just clipped, whereas some you have to actually root and fully dig, and I don't have a green thumb at all. I still have I'm trying to shed my black thumb, so I'm not killing every plant. But, it's just interesting, again, seeing someone who knows. When I'm out here, I only see what I see and what I know. So I love that when he's like, oh, stop. Or even you sometimes, like, we'll say, oh, what's that? Hold on, go back. Things that I don't see and I don't know. And that I think is just the most fascinating thing I love about live streaming and all that. can't say that part enough.
It's like it's very similar to like your isopods that you've got just hanging around. And for us, you know, we're buying them, we're paying for them.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me.
Tell them I said hi.
Hello. Steve says hi. Yeah. No. Right, okay. No. Not that I know of. No, not that I know of. Just the flies. Just the flies and the glue gun. All right, darling. All right.
Steve says bye.
Ciao. Oh, Steve said bye. Bye, Steve. Bye. Bye. My wife is out shopping, and she's just checking to see if I need anything else. That's all. So I've got to get in flies for me. I want a new fly culture. I need to, you know, now and again when you've got the flies, the fruit flies, you've got to add a new culture, haven't you, to sort of pick it up. So got to get in them and a glue gun. I got my glue gun out yesterday, turned it on.
Oh my goodness! I don't know.
Off it and it sparks a lot.
Can you guys see that deer looking at us? Where is that?
I wish I could, mate.
Kind of
Can't see anything.
over here. There's a little deer looking at us.
Yeah, I can see the shadow.
Oops, sorry, I'm moving the camera out of the way. Thanks.
See, that's something else Trump has probably got. That.
So let me try. Right up in this part. I apologize. Try to keep it on.
Yeah.
There's a little fawn up there in that little green circle towards the bottom. I'm going to try and hold on. It's a fawn, so it's basically, I wish I could figure out how to change that. But I can't right now. Man, yeah, and kind of like right in that green circle, he's just staring at. And anyway, so fawn are interesting to me because their defense mechanism is to literally do nothing, to the point where on a hike out here, I walked and was standing near one and was kicking a tree that had fallen after one of the storms. And the whole time, I want to say, I mean, I must have been there a good 30 seconds. The thing was 2 feet in front of me. And when I finally kicked the tree loose, it's kind of nudged the thing and scared it. And it jumped right out at me. Because again, it was just one of those where in my mind, I can see that first second of it jumping out at me. And then it stopped about 10 feet away from me and just looks at me. Because again, that's their defense mechanism. So after that, fawns don't know what to do. So it's just like, do I run from you? Are you following me? I don't know what to do. He's just looking at me. It was a really interesting experience.
Yeah.
We don't get that, you see. Well, you can. There's some places with deer here, but not many. You have to go out your way to look for a deer. There's absolutely nothing here that's even slightly dodgy.
Yeah,
wait.
You have to go to Scotland.
Scotland's got a lot of deer. No, we've got a lot of. It's hard to explain. England's weird. Like you've got the big cities like Manchester and Birmingham, but if you go 10 minutes out the city centre, you can be in the middle of the countryside, and there could be deer there. So it's just the way the country is. It's just strange. There's so many people in one spot, and then there's nothing. So it's like empty wilderness in a lot of the places. Now you've got the Pennines running all the way up the middle of the country there. It's just hills, and there's nothing on it. There's absolutely nothing at all. And here and there, but in the lowlands of the hills, you've got the forests and whatnot, and that's where you find deer and stuff. But you have to go out your way, you know. It's 20 miles away or something, and it's completely different. And I'm looking at concrete now, and I can't stand it. I hate it. I hate every minute of it. I can't stand seeing houses and bricks, and it doesn't impress me at all. Not at all.
Here it's to the point where in the town where close to where I live, the city, it's called. There she's running.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw it. It's called Flekkefjord. It's my local city. There you have road there, just running around in the middle of the city.
You said hares and like rabbits' hairs?
No, like road there.
Deer.
There.
Just okay.
Yeah, we have here too, also, but
I think we've got 5 species of deer. Not sure, it might be 6. But finding them, it's pretty difficult. Pretty difficult. Thinking about it really now, there's a lot of wildlife, but not a great variation. Everything's a herbivore for a start, apart from bloody badgers, really. I think badgers are about the scariest thing we've got.
yeah, and red foxes.
Well, they're not really scary. They just run away, don't they? They're only a bit bigger than a cat.
Well, yeah.
Our foxes are anyway. They're more of a nuisance than anything else. We have a lot of foxes, but badgers not so much anymore. Used to see a lot when I was a kid, but I've not seen one for years now.
I don't know how I would react to seeing a badger out here, because I know they can be quite the handful.
Yeah, they can be fierce. It depends if they've got cubs, they can be very protective. Yeah.
Then you're in trouble.
Yeah, they will. They'll quite happily chase you. Happily chase you and give you a bite. But they're so rare for anyone to come across a badger that they wouldn't even be worth mentioning as something scary that you might run into. You never run into one.
When I saw that marten out here for that first time, I thought it was funny that I even commented in the video as it kind of started looking at me and coming towards me. I'm like, wow, I hope this thing doesn't have rabies. And someone in the comments says, it's probably not a good idea to stand there if you're curious if the thing has rabies.
Yeah.
But
something else we don't really get is rabies here.
Yeah, it's almost, I don't want to say an urban myth in Michigan, but it's one of those things where I've never seen it. I don't know anyone who's ever seen it or experienced it, but everyone knows to be mindful of it here and all of that. But I'm assuming, again, Michigan is just interesting because, and the U.S. is like that really in general, in that we're a relatively new country and culture. So a lot of that stuff is just sticking around, I guess, I think. Where, rabies is not really a problem in Michigan. Now, maybe more than I mentioned as you go up north and maybe if you have livestock. But I've never, in all of my lives, heard of a rabies incident in Michigan. Now, and I'm sure they happen. But
yeah, because over here in Norway, the government says that rabies doesn't exist. It's like gone forever. But we do have 3, maybe 4 cases a year. So
that's interesting.
I never heard of a case in the UK.
No,
never. You get people talking about bats having rabies. Oh, bats are carrying rabies. And I've handled wild bats, and I've been bitten off them and stuff. And I've never, as far as I know, I don't have rabies. So it's.
If you had, you would know.
I'm pretty sure it would. Yeah. So it's. As I say, I grew up on a farm, and they always used to talk about rabies and all sorts of, it's got rabies, and the old people. No, no, but nobody's ever seen an animal with rabies, or definitely not a person. So where's it all come from? This talk of rabies. I'm going to blame the French.
I'm blaming Disney, Old Yeller.
It probably is, or Cujo or something, or whatever it's called. Cujo.
Did he have rabies too? I never actually saw Cujo.
All right, it looked like a psychopath, so I'm assuming it had rabies.
I want to come. I don't know what or how, but this piece of wood just fascinates me, and I want to do something with it.
I think you should stand it up and tell us how many rathkai are underneath it.
No, well, it's not. It won't, because the branches you can see all around it won't let it contact the ground unless you leave it like it is now. But before, it was standing on the branches, so there wasn't any contact. This would be prime. If you want, I can find you some Rathke in about 2 minutes. I can take you to my Rathke spot. But I could actually look at this. I just want to make like a piece, like a table piece out of this almost at the same time, or I want to put a vivarium on top, like. You know what I'm saying? Like put some substrate down, put some moss on top, and just leave that as it is, and just leave the vivarium. I don't know. I want to do a lot, but and especially as you can see, this piece kind of stands out in the sunlight here. It's almost always calling me, like, Steve, come take me, and I can't.
Put a bird
one day. I know that'd be amazing, and I don't know, man. But let me get some Rathke.
I could have got them quicker than you.
Oh, I could find a lot. I like to go to my Rathke spot.
Yeah, I've got them in a box up there, so I'm all right.
I want to come and start digging through this. This wood is starting to fall off, but not today. I don't have any of my stuff. But go to the Rathke farm.
Yeah, I've got a little bit in my garden which Muscorum are always there every time I go out and look.
I'm starting to really love Muscorum. They're awesome, and I'm starting to think that I don't know. This is me just thinking, but I'm curious how it's broken up, because I'm finding, in my opinion, that some, like that new species I got that I can't say. I literally can't pronounce its name. Muscorums and a couple other tend to almost be more aquatic, in that I'm noticing they come here and they recede back. So when the rain comes, they're more abundant. As it doesn't, they start to move more in towards the river where it stays wet. Whereas like the spinny cornies, vulgare, don't tend to do that and seem to prefer more stable, constant stuff. I don't know. It's fast. And the reason I'm thinking about all of that is because me and Nick actually collected and we're going to look into doing aquatic isopods. We got a bunch of freshwater isopods, which just got me thinking, like, there's that obvious medium or spectrum between fully aquatic and terrestrial ones, which makes me think that there's something in the middle where there may be ones that tend to almost be aquatic but follow the water terrestrially, if that makes sense, as opposed to fully submersing. Let's see what we got. A bunch of snails.
There we go.
Can you see that little guy?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I apologize, I can't really zoom. A couple springtails, some spiders, and oh, where is it?
Slug eggs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Plagued with those.
I'm starting to really like snails, but that aspect of it. Ooh, I love the color on this one. Hold on. So these are those amber snails, but their color is so diverse, it's crazy. Like this is almost, again, I don't know how well it comes out because I can't really zoom, but it almost has a platinum look to, especially towards the butt end of it.
I'm wondering now with them snails. We did a study with a Norwegian group, actually, Norwegian University. Did a study with can't remember which snail it was, Helix something or other. Can't remember which one it was. And they was changing colour depending on how much pollution was in their shell. You could actually test the shell on spectroscopy, and it would a lot of the stuff that the shell was made of was basically exhaust fumes, was the heavy metals from exhaust fumes, and it was causing the snail shells to discolour. So the ones that was collected near the city, I think about everybody in the UK and Norway collecting snails, and the ones that was near the city was losing their standard colours, which was strange. It was going like yellows and whites and stuff instead of how they should have been, which was a chocolate stripy brown they should have been.
And that was the eggs or the shells?
That was the shells of the actual snails. And the ones near the cities were actually really, really affected badly with the heavy metals in their shells. So you could gauge the pollution level of a city by the state of the snail shell. There was actually a phone app, Tron. This was a good 10 years ago. There was actually a phone app for people to go out and like take photographs and tell us what town or city there was in. And at the end of the day, when we collated the information, that's what we found out was that the colours were changing due to pollution. And that was the end of it. I think it lasted about a year and a half, the research on that. So it wasn't like a quick thing. It was a proper, a decent length study to figure that out. But if it's affecting snails, it's probably affecting everything else, like isopods, centipedes, everything else we've got.
That was my next kind of question, and this may sound again just kind of on point with what we're saying, but I look at the spinny cornies, for example, and they have that gold, that almost noxious color to them.
Yeah.
And I am just curious if what of that is, if it's dietary, if it is like we're saying heavy metals, or if it's just different dietary, I don't know, makeups from wherever they're eating, or if it's just because I wanted to ask you this because again, this is just kind of me thinking. I think I may have mentioned it, but when you have mixes like, and I mean more natural mixes, like for example, Armadillidium vulgare, and how, for lack of better terms, you call it the gem mix, but where you just generally see them in nature and they have, we'll just say 3 to 4 different colors patterns. In my, again, in my stupid head, I'm thinking it's because, let's just say they're in an area over there where birds tend to predate on the orange ones, but then they're over here where the spiders tend to predate on the, black ones and so on, where it gives them an advantage where even if X amount of percentages of them are getting picked off by predators, the other ones are flourishing, or at least not being targeted by preferences, whether it's in sight or whatever. But I'm curious if that's the reason why certain ones do that.
Well, no. Evidently, so they say, research says, it's just genetic. It's a genetic deformation. So if you've got two with a bit of orange on them and they mate, their offspring will keep that genetic information, and the offspring will have that orange on them. And eventually it will come to the point where they end up with a full orange one. It's pretty much like morphing. If I take grey scabers out of the garden and I breed them and I look at the mankai, I can pick out certain ones, oh, look at that one, it's got a white fleck on it, or it's got a stripe on it, or whatever. I remove that and put it with another one with a stripe on. And that stripe will continue through the generations as a genetic deformation. and eventually you end up with a new morph. And that's it. That's how it's that's how you morph them. Just select
Yeah,
it.
because that's the same with because I used to be in the aquarium hobby a lot with the freshwater shrimp.
Yeah.
You have the cherry red, and normally they just brown.
Mhm.
But then you breed them and breed them and breed them, and you get different colors. And you have the red cherries, and you have the yellow ones, and you have the blue ones. And
Blue's an odd one. Blue's a pretty rare color in the animal kingdom.
yeah,
It's not in the fish. It's not. There's still quite a lot of fish that have blue, but generally in the animal kingdom and terrestrial animals, blue is very, very rare.
yeah. Because I know if you don't cull your shrimp when you breed them, if you just let them go too far, you just end up with a lot of nature colored brown.
Yeah. Or if you mix them, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the same with the isopods. If you mix them, if you've got a morph of, I don't know, let's say white ones, isopods, and you mix them with grey ones, if you give it long enough, they'll all end up grey.
Yeah.
The white will just be bred out. So that's the importance of not letting other isopods get in your bins, and that's the only reason why, really. You start ending up adding this another genetic marker to them, and they end up changing colour. Now, answer your question, Steve.
Yes.
A bit long-winded, but we got there in the end. It's nothing to do with predation. Although it's a nice thought, or it would have been.
I've been wrong before.
If that
I'm
was the
divorced.
case, you wouldn't get them at home, would you? You'd be outside, take them out of that. I've got some isopods in here that's been inside for maybe 15 years. Like they've never seen outdoors. And snails as well. I've had snails like that as well. What's that? I can see it's an isopod, but I can't see what it is.
Looks like a Rathke. I was thinking I was going to find. There they are. Oh no, there they go. These are those ones that I've been picking up. There's a nice millipede too. Those again, I can't even pronounce it. It starts with an H. But I did that video on trying to identify the species that I think we nailed down. But they're usually up on this wet wood. Let's see.
I did look at that when you sent me the pictures on Discord, and I did look at it, and I was like, I thought you was wrong. Honestly, I thought the species.
I put up that YouTube video with them that gave probably the best look that I've gotten, but they're so small and they remind. I want to kind of name them the Michigan Fast because they're very Florida Fast like. But in my opinion, again, like I was saying, they seem to be a lot more. Again, it's very, because isopods, they all like it wet, but they all kind of like it dry. But my point is, like, they almost like it saturated, if that makes more of a sense. Not where there's the moist side is an option. It's more of where it's almost entirely moist, saturated, with access to a little bit of dry. I don't know. They're just fascinating to me and mostly because I don't see much information on them.
Well, sadly, some species just get completely overlooked. I was saying that before about we've got like 38 native species, and at least 10 of them display coloration. that it's just not one plain sort of isopod. But you never see them in the hobby. I don't know why. It's strange for me, especially something like the Dentico, which is red. I don't know any other isopod that's red apart from this one, and it's ours. It's native. You go and get one out of your garden.
Which one is that?
Eh?
Which one is that? The red isopod?
Andronicus Dentico, if I remember right.
See, I'm not familiar with that at all. I know there was like a Cubaris marina. I know was said to be pink, but I haven't heard of a red isopod.
Yeah, it's deep red. It's
nice.
Actually red. There's no pink. There's no orange. It's red. That's
okay.
It. Say you don't see them. They're very small.
Oh, I got you. And I think that may be why. I think people want the big, bold, colorful isopods.
But the marina is small. So, it's just got that name Cubaris in front of it. People think, oh, that's tropical. As soon as you saying, oh, this is native, you can get them out of the garden. Nobody wants them. Although I do have some luck with the Aniscus ocellus, which is the skirted isopod.
Yeah, I want to get deep into them this year.
People do buy those. I'm just making a morph now with those, which is they've got the very pale yellow stripes down the back. I've got some now that I've got really deep yellow, really, a proper yellow. So I'm hoping to get that morph off the ground, and they might do better. But people do buy those for some weird reason. Well, and yet they don't buy the bright red ones. I give up. No accounting for taste, is it? People spend money on scabers. And if I went outside now, lift up a plant pot, there could be 100 under it. And yet people will buy them. I put them on eBay, people buy them. So, don't know what to say. Yeah, they can't be bothered looking themselves, or can't go out and get them themselves, or they just don't know what they are. If you're new to the hobby, there's so many isopods that, and the names just are all fantastical. Yeah, the best thing I think about the isopods is they're actually easy to remember the names.
See, the names are something that frustrate me because it's so vague. I guess I don't retain them. There's no. I mean, I guess when you start to talk about the more common ones, armadillidiums, but like we're saying, all of these, the little red ones, these ones that I can't name out here with the H, even though I've read the name several times. But then at the same time, I also hate the bland naming, the common naming or the hobby names that people are picking. They just seem unimaginative and boring.
Yeah, you've also got the problem. Trond is going to agree with me on this one. With scorpions, spiders, mantis, probably other things as well, where they give them the common name, and it's not the right creature in the box.
Yeah.
Whereas they'll say, like, this is a Mexican red knee. Which one?
Yeah.
This is a shield mantis. Yeah, which one is it? And they just give them the common name, and then you don't know which one they're actually referring to.
Yeah. Very common is this is an Asian forest scorpion.
Mm.
That's another one. Yeah, the forest scorpion. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the forest scorpion, the actual scientific name.
Atrometus.
That one I've seen marked up in pet shops as something completely different, and it just said Asian forest scorpion.
Yeah.
And when you've asked the pet shop owner what's the scientific name, they don't know.
Nope.
I use I get leaves in autumn, Philip, and I put them in a big black bin liner, and I let them decompose until they're substrate. And then I add more leaves, dead leaves, and I add dry wood, and I add calcium, and that's my substrate I use. Seems to work.
Who all is in the chat? I can't see. Philip, Diana. How's everything going wherever you guys are? Are these all your UK peoples?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, everyone's there from the UK. Apart from Trond, of course. Who isn't?
Hmm?
No, don't worry, Trond. Say, is everyone from the UK? I said, yeah, apart from Trond.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that time of day, Steve. You
And Norway is the capital of London, right? I'm still learning my geology.
Yeah, that's your geology. Yeah. I am Wally. And of course, Wally. There you go. There you go, Steve.
Wally World.
Everyone here, I should imagine, knows Wally from Supreme Gecko. If you don't, he does isopods. He does loads of isopods. If you look at his older videos, his newer videos are nearly all geckos and streaming. But his older videos are very much isopods, and I used to watch them a hell of a lot.
Supreme Gecko and Isopod.
It wasn't because of the subject. He was very entertaining with it. He's not a dull isopod sort of person. He made him more exciting. He's got this tiny little bug here, and it's like you're thinking, oh, what's so exciting about that? Where he made them sound exciting, and I think that makes it a good entertainer. So yeah, Wally is definitely worth having a look at.
Yeah, Simon, you may know this, 'cause I don't. Because we're talking about the different color morphs and stuff, the genetics. But I've never seen like scorpions, like the heterometeor species.
Sorry if I'm loud, Wally.
They're all black. I've never seen one with the color morph.
No, I haven't. I've never seen anything like. There's lots of things, isn't there? You don't see lots of things.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fascinating. That
yeah,
some inverts and insects you get loads of color morphs, like with the isopods. There's loads of different color morphs, and then you have the scorpions, and you can find one.
No, you can't. Well, same with mantis. You don't get out mantis either. I think it's the fact that the crustaceans, rather than insects, or you know, it might be because they are really based on isopod is really based on a sea animal, isn't it? Whereas your scorpions and your spiders and stuff are pretty much terrestrial.
Yeah,
Isopod's still got gills, for instance. So it's you've got to look at it in different ways. But yeah, I've never seen a scorpion or a spider or like a mantis. I've got hundreds of mantis here, and they all come out the same. There's not even one that has a little white bit somewhere or a little red bit somewhere. It's just like they're all the same, exactly the same. They come out the egg. It's like there's nothing to split off. I have got some here that are a different morph than normal. It's a mantis with blue legs, and that was a pairing between two different species, and the blue legs happened. So that's what it takes to get the differences, rather than just like a genetic appearance. Well, he says so.
How actively can
Yeah.
Again, I'm totally ignorant to mantises. So can they just breed into anything breed with anything, or are there ones that can and cannot, or will they produce hybrids? How does that all work?
Most of the mantis species have different genitalia.
Okay.
Right? They're literally, it
Doesn't fit.
won't fit, right? Literally, it won't fit. It's not a case of this. It's like, where am I going? It's not a case of this. It's like, can't get in, right? So you can't really swap them around. But if you take shield mantis, for instance, you might have 5 or 6 different species of shield mantis under the same genus. And some of them will be able to mix. And this is obviously how we've ended up with like 30 odd shield mantis, different ones, because they've mixed and created a new one in the wild. And this one was done in captivity, this blue leg. And that's to Budwing mantis. I'll say Budwing rather than Paris Vandale. Okay. There's Paris Vandale Agrippa, Paris Vandale Affinis, and they've obviously done the dirty, and we've ended up with this blue leg guy, which I want to help continue the morph, if you like. It's, as far as I know, it's not got a name yet. It's just Paris Vandale SP. Nobody's given it a name, so waiting for that one. Have to see what happens. But yeah, that's it. Mantis, no, mate. It's all different tackle.
Fair enough.
Yeah, with scorpions, it's a lot easier to mix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's the same. They breed the same way, all of them.
Yeah, because scorpions don't. Yeah, it's not a case of fitting, is it, with the scorpion?
No, scorpion males just lay their spermicida
before, isn't it? And then drag them
on a flat surface and drags the female
drag
over.
the woman over the top. Get on the top of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tough love.
Yeah, good point.
Love hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can make lots of hybrids if you're not careful.
Is that good or bad, or you know what I'm saying? Like, because again, me as just a curious person, I think that's good, but I'm ignorant to what that may mean long term.
Well,
you know,
in the hobby, it's looked at bad because if they disappear from the wild, you don't have any clean genetics to help out. Because there's loads of breeding programs and stuff.
There is another problem with it as well, Steve.
Are those mushrooms?
Probably. If you've got, you know what, you saw a few months back, I had, because I had mantis roaming around.
If I can see those mushrooms from here, that's crazy. I'm sorry. Well, I want you to watch from where I'm walking. Because if those are mushrooms, that's insane, the size of those things. They look like soccer balls, which they may be, and I'll feel like a fool.
You probably are soccer balls, mate.
Because if those are mushrooms, I'm taking them. Are they coming into focus yet? They're about 400 yards up ahead.
Are they cars?
That has to be garbage.
You're going to make us wait for this, and it's going
to No. Keep talking. I'm sorry. I just want to keep in mind how far away I can see those.
It's going to show us a plastic bag, isn't it?
I hope not.
You got like the other. It's more of an ethical problem because you can have 2 different species to mate, and the offspring can be mangled.
Yeah,
like you can end up with very weak offspring, or offspring that's infertile, or offspring that's deformed.
Yeah, you don't know.
ethically, it's not right to like pair two different species on purpose, and you end up with a bunch of babies that are all deformed and mangled, or don't have a long lifespan, or come out.
Makes sense, yeah. And that, again, that's something in my ignorance. I've never dabbled in that to know anything beyond the little that I know.
That's why I wouldn't do it on purpose. But as I said, like a couple of months ago, as you know, I had two shield mantis different species out.
These are mushrooms.
And I saw them, and it was actually mating. So they'd done that. As far as I'm concerned, that was the wild pairing, because it was in the room wild, and they just mated themselves. I had nothing to do with it whatsoever. Which I found that interesting, because that could have been a possible new species that would have been.
Holy cow! Sorry.
Are they plastic mushrooms?
No, these are mushrooms.
Holy moly.
I think you're going to pick them and
I'm going to come back with something.
not that one.
Yeah, when I saw them from there, I was like, either someone left their dinner plates out. Wow. I'm sorry to, like I say, I saw those from all the way down there.
Yeah.
Now I got to go get something to get them.
No, because I would
Life Mario Brothers.
I would try. There's a species I would try just to see how the outcome would be. But it would be like, it would never be for sale anywhere. The offspring, if it was offspring, because of what it can do to wild population and the hobby, and it's just
you've got the other problem, you see, because like I said, the ones that happened in here is they just paired up and mated without any interference from me whatsoever, and they came from the same place, so that must happen in the wild.
Yeah.
So that whatever the pairing, whatever comes off that pairing, either is infertile or whatever, that must happen. It absolutely 100% must happen, because they didn't even think twice about it. They just met and paired. And let's face it, these are mantis. This could have ended up much worse. I could have ended up going to her eating the male, but no, they paired.
So that reminds me of something that I think I may have answered my question with something that you said earlier, but so I was looking into garter snakes and keeping them as pets and the legalities here in the US, and it's kind of convoluted because they break eastern garter snakes up into morphs by region. And so for an example, in Michigan, we have the eastern garter snake, but I cannot keep it as a pet in Michigan. I can't sell them. But if you live, for example, in any other state other than Michigan, well, outside of their range, I should say, you can keep them and sell them, just not to people in their native ranges. So I can buy garter snakes from California, Nevada, Florida, and keep them as pets, but I can't do that here in Michigan. And I was curious why that is, because it seems to me it should be the reverse, in that if I want to keep genetic diversity out of Michigan, so to speak, meaning keep eastern garter snakes easterns and not mixing them with other snakes, why would they do the law like that? I'm like, what's the rationale behind it? Because if it's there, I don't see it.
Is it because it's America?
That could very, again, as much sense as it makes to me, that could be the answer. But I always say, maybe there's some reason I don't know, and if I don't know something, I try to ask.
I'm not being awful. I'm not being awful to say. I'm not joking. I mean,
no, it makes sense. sadly.
You do crazy things. You do have crazy laws as far as inverts concerned. All animals, actually. I mean, you've got a tiger there. You go, I think I'll have a tiger. Can I buy that stick insect? No, you can't have a stick insect.
And that's
just mental. That's
the interesting thing about laws is, in my opinion, there's such a drastic difference between something being legal and illegal. And if something's not legal, it doesn't mean it's illegal. And if something's not illegal by law, that doesn't mean it's legal. It's just very convoluted like that, in America at least.
I also find in America you have another problem, which is money. If you can make money out of it, you tend to do it. We're in the capitalist West as well, and I'm not waving any red flags around here. Generally, America is ridiculously capitalist. It's like you'll make money out of it. You'll make money out of people dying, for God's sake. You know what I mean? Like it's just something you'll do. So, I mean, maybe you can't sell them for enough money in Michigan, so therefore you sell them somewhere else under that name, or it sounds more exotic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just America is so strange with its laws and with the way it does things. It could be just like you guys.
Well, I got two questions. One has nothing to do with what we're talking about real quick, but to go collect those mushrooms, I have this bucket. Should I just dig them up and drop them in here for now?
When I was a kid, we used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning with our pillowcases. We'd go up to the fields and we'd fill the pillowcases full of mushrooms. So you can put them in anything you want.
Okay. Fair point. Now, with the America thing, one thing that you're right, but I think it's just a different slight view of it in that you're right that it's capitalist, but further what I think is, so for example, and I'm sure you'll get this, we'll just take pharmaceuticals as an example. Drug companies don't want to cure you. They want to keep you having cancer, but make it manageable so you keep taking their drugs. And there's that aspect of Americanism where if we could make a system out of something instead of stopping it, we want to, like you're saying, make a corporation to help the homeless, not spend money to end homelessness. We want to make a company that will feed them and put them up and pay them and do all this. And then, same thing with everything here. If we have a chance to fix it, we don't want to do that. We want to find a way to make a system out of it. And another example I give is the roads in Michigan, in that there are lots of places all over the world who have good roads, even places that have winters like we do. But Michigan and our unions think that it's better to every 2 years have the job security of fixing those roads. So we don't fix them. We build them to maintain them, to fix them again in 2 years, because that's the business that we want, to provide jobs for people every 2 years. And in that, every 2 years, so when they're not doing construction in my area now, it's because they're doing it in the next area over, but they're going to be doing it this next year. When they're not doing it, again, it's just a rotation where we could fix a lot of these problems, but we've built systems on maintaining them and making a business out of running them, like a problem to maintain, not a solution to be fixed.
Right. So you prefer to, yeah. We like looking for the solutions. It's just, it feels like it makes more sense that to us. It's like we want the solution to something. If you can fix a road forever, then, that's what we'll do. Rather than saying, if we fix that road forever, we won't be able to make money out of that. But that doesn't make any sense. Just move on and do something else.
I agree.
Wally has an excellent point there.
I was going to mention that in a sec, yeah.
Yeah, about the limited in the wild.
And what's even more peculiar with, again, just the way it works is in Michigan, so we have eastern garter snakes, but then in that picture I think I sent, we talked about, there's also a Butler's garter snake. And it just becomes more convoluted here because Butler's garter snakes again, I don't know about all over this country, but in Michigan, they're considered endangered. So, it's a little more convoluted, but what I'm probably going to do is try to keep Butlers because they look nice, but you can apply to the state of Michigan to basically, if you register that you're not selling them commercially or harming them or, doing anything like that, you can keep them, but you have to have approval, like we're saying, because a law has to be made for me to do that. Which I get at the same time. It's kind of annoying.
A lot of things are just money. Tron, for instance, can keep scary stuff.
Yeah.
Really scary stuff. We need a license. We have to pay for a license to our local council to be able to keep the same things that Tron can keep anyway. And
Freedom first, safety second. But I get it both ways. I understand it.
More interestingly, though, it's the cost of the license is different depending on where you live in the country.
Okay.
Who's running the council will depend on how much you pay for this license for the same things that Tron can keep at home for free.
Yeah, but also because I can keep any centipede I want, any tarantula, any scorpion, the hottest of the hottest, doesn't matter, I can keep it. But I'm not allowed to keep poison dart frogs.
That is...
What's the rationale behind that? I'm just curious. Is it because, again, they're not going to escape and become invasive in Norway? At least that's my assumption. Maybe I'm wrong. So what's that's where I start to get mad at laws when I think about what does this mean? Because what does that stop from happening? Nothing, aside from someone owning something that they would like to. But again, if the culture was, which I understand, like we're saying, you have to get licenses, that would make sense. But if they're saying, like we're saying, you can own this, and this, but not that. The only reason I could think of is it's going to be introduced into Norway and become invasive. But again, I'm fairly confident that poison dart frogs are not going to do that.
Nope.
I don't understand that. I mean, because we can have poison dart frogs without a license.
Yeah.
So it's just that's just.
I can't keep them at all.
That's insane. That's insane. I mean, I can nip down to a pet shop now and grab some, and they've all got dart frogs.
You should make a shirt like we have in America. We say if guns become outlawed, I'll become an outlaw, and you should get if poison dart frogs are outlawed, I'll become an outlaw.
Yeah.
Come take my poison dart frogs.
Yeah, throw frogs at people. That's just mental. I mean, poison dart frogs are not poisonous.
Correct.
Unless you feed them on the thing. I can't remember what it is now. It's a beetle, isn't it?
It's like a beetle, I believe. Yeah, some kind of beetle or something like that.
A beetle that makes them poisonous, and without that beetle, they're not poisonous. So, what's the problem? If you're feeding crickets, it's...
After what because I've done a lot of research because it irritates me a lot. And with the poison dart frogs, because all amphibians are banned from Norway. I can't keep axolotls, nothing like that. I can keep koi, goldfish. That's about it. And that's because the Norwegian government is afraid that the poison dart frogs or axolotls, or you name it, would end up in the wild and infect the Norwegian native frogs with some kind of parasite.
They would die, though, surely. In winter, they would die.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like all the stuff here. I mean, if your tarantula got out here, or whatever, or mantis or whatever, it'd die. It would die. It wouldn't make it past November the 1st here. It would be dead.
No. Yeah.
And it's like, why would you ban this thing? It's never going to make it in the wild.
And because we have reptiles wasn't legal until 2017.
Wow.
We had an issue with the Chinese mantis and the European mantis. You couldn't buy them here.
Yeah. So we have what they call a positivity list. So we have 19 different species of reptiles we're allowed to keep. And that's it.
That's a lot of ours went down when I started keeping reptiles. Was in the 80s, the 1980s, by the way. I'll just make that clear, right? And back then you could pretty much have anything you wanted.
Yeah.
Like here now, if you want a tortoise, it's almost impossible to get a tortoise. And you know, but I had I can never remember him, Parentis, which is an Australian monitor lizard, and they were huge things.
Jumping spider.
I think it's a zebra. I can't really tell.
It's a bit small for a zebra, mate.
Our zebras here are the smaller ones. Bolds are our ones that get really big.
Sorry, a bit large for a zebra. Zebra.
I think it looks like a gravid female. May let her go. No, that's not a zebra. That is some weird coloring. You are right.
Yeah, it's not a zebra. No.
No, I'm gonna let her go. I don't want you coming up on me. Well, I would like you to come home with me, but yeah, there you go.
I've got a few. I've got a zebra that I caught on my front door, and I've got it in a jar now. On there, he eats fruit flies. Yeah, it's pretty cute though. I love that.
I like. Got a nice butt.
So, like I really want the red-eye crocodile skinks.
Oh yeah.
But no.
I don't know.
No, not legal. I can get leopard geckos and crested geckos. That's about it. Of the lizards.
There's some crazy laws out there. I mean, some were understandable. You can get that. I can understand why they was worried about the Chinese mantis and the European mantis here. We have no mantis here, and they was worried about the bees at one point. You know, the lack of bees, and it was if we had mantis, they'd eat the bees. I mean, God, yeah, it would, yeah. They'd probably eat one bee out of a hive every year, and it's not a big deal. But as far as government's concerned, the people who are making the laws don't know about the animals, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the way I see it. It's like, oh, that's you can't have that because we're frightened of this, that, and the other. Yeah, do you know anything about it? No.
And what's very peculiar about the U.S. on top is, again, I live 40 minutes from Ohio and Indiana, and what I can ship or buy differs from my state to their state on top of the federal regulations that you have to be mindful of sometimes. And like I mentioned, it could be literally you shipping 20 minutes away to the next state, but there's a different legal process for it.
Yeah, I've got a friend with an invert shop in California.
Okay.
And he has a list of states he can send different inverts to because, he can't send one thing here or one thing there, and it's probably if he does. That's really weird because we've got the state law and federal law and all this business. It just goes mental. You live in a really crazy place, don't you, Steve?
I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's insane. It really is. I mean, America's always been looked at as insane, but when you look deeper into it, it really is. It's still insane.
It's really what? I'm sorry?
It's really still insane. Even if you look deep into it, it's still insane.
We're still, again, I don't think especially Americans think about this. But again, like in terms of like we're saying, culturally, we're 200 years old at best, so we don't have national identity, a past to look back on and all of those things. If we do, they're relatively contemporary. So it's just that aspect alone, to me, can fascinate the way people look at family, government, laws, you know, all that differently compared to people in the US. But generally speaking, people in the US are not cognizant of why. It's an ignorance, I would almost say, where lots of other places, Japan, the UK, places in Africa, all over, have, again, I don't want to say more rigid culture, but more defined social cultures and stuff. And us, like we're saying, that can differ city to city, here, state to state. It can, you know, talking about Michigan can be insane, talking about the difference from living out here near Detroit or going 2 hours up north to where you're in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's a completely different lifestyle. And it's just fascinating.
Yeah, I suppose it is. I can't get my head around it. I mean, you're talking to a Celt and a Viking, basically. And, you know, to us, America is pretty much a little baby.
Yep.
I mean, you know, sometimes it acts that way though as well. It's the scary part is it's like a baby with a machine gun, which is scary to me. It's just terrifying. The thought you've got so much wealth and power and not knowing what to do with it half the time. That just scares me. That scares me completely.
Well, what's worse is thinking we know what to do with it ignorantly.
Yeah, I suppose that is a bit of a scary thing. But at least you don't have anything to do with our invert laws, which is a good part. And it's nice. I get a lot of people saying, "Can I send you some?" They're in Malaysia or something or India. Can I send you what licenses and what? I say no. Just put it in a box and send it. I have no problems. Whereas you would have all hell would break loose, wouldn't it? It's like the end of the world is nigh if somebody sent you an ooth in a box. For us, they just open them and go, "Oh yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I can go through that." That's it.
That's also a thing that irritates me quite a lot with the Norwegian laws, because tarantulas and scorpions and centipedes, I'm allowed to keep whatever I want. I can walk in any pet shop and buy whatever I want. If it's as like hot enough to kill me, doesn't matter. I can go buy it. But if I want Simon to ship me one from the UK, I need to have an import license.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's crazy. We do a lot of the countries in Europe and whatnot, and Americas, they need an import license. Whereas we can just say, "Nah, just send it." It's absolutely fine if you just send it. What's it like?
Small aside, I'm incredibly excited for that stream, Wally. Doesn't really pertain to the other two in the stream, but that is something, especially with as I'm trying to go into eventually selling isopods, I need to be aware of. Again, because I look at it like I don't know if you guys played, like I say, Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm the person who rolls a natural 1. And what that means is, if you don't know, rolling a natural 1 means like my character in Dungeons and Dragons will go to pick up my stick, and all I have to do is roll 2 through 20. And then I roll a 1, which means a catastrophic fail, meaning when I go to pick up my stick, my back goes out and then a sinkhole opens up and I fall into it and break my back. And that's my luck in life. So I'm like, if I don't have a permit when I need one to sell an isopod, the last thing I need is to take a hobby like this and start getting fined hundreds of dollars out of my own ignorance. So I'm very excited for that stream.
It's amazing how you have to go through all that just to sell a woodlands. At the end of the day,
the federal government here needs to know my name so I can ship Wally some crustaceans.
I don't get that. I don't get that. Some of your laws are just so mental, and I could ship pretty much anything around the country, I want it in our postal service. As long as I put a sticker on that says live animals inside. That's all I need to do. It could be anything in there. Doesn't make any difference. Nobody's going to open it. Nobody's going to ask questions. It's just going to go where it's going. Yeah. And that would include Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, of course, not just England. But anyway, excuse me, I need a pin.
So what's the weather like today in Norway?
It's raining.
Is it cool, warm, in the middle?
No, it's. Let's see what it is in your.
And this is like a mushroom paradise today.
I agree. Yeah, blah, blah. Go away.
I'll go away for 2 seconds and shut up. Yeah. As my son just come round and he'd like to see if I need the ghost mantis feeding because I won't feed them.
Yeah, it's 50 Fahrenheit.
Okay. American degrees, as I call them.
But there now, 50. In Norway, 50 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 55 here now.
Yeah, 50 and rain.
Yeah, crappy. The sun is so bright though. The clouds are all, there's a lot of white clouds here. The sun's like shining through so much, as you can see, I'm like got a white face going on here. Look like I fell in a chalk pit, but that's because of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because now Norway is in a weird period in the weather cycles. So it's right before the Norwegian summer kicks in. So
Okay.
we can have all four what's it called? Seasons in one day. So it's really strange.
Yeah, that's like Michigan in April. I love it.
No, it's not April either. Go through the middle of summer. I'm actually cold right now. I'm sat here in my bug room and I'm cold. It's like ridiculous. This morning was winter outside. It just progressed to autumn. And that was it. Not seen spring or summer yet today. Might do. It's like I might get a bit of spring in a bit, I think. And then it'll go away and then be freezing again. But that's so much different in this part of the world. We're just in that little bit, aren't we, where we don't really get summer. And when we do, it's not for very long. And it's not really hot either. That's pretty miserable, to be honest with you. Can you post us some summer, Steve?
What's that?
Can you post us some summer?
I mean, you got a little bit. This is Michigan summer right now, but I'm going to start putting some stuff up. This is bothering me and I hate it. I've been wanting to start putting together, because I come out on my walks and I'll take a couple pictures here, 2-minute video of a muskrat there, butterflies, a slug here. And I want to start putting together like my just monthly compilations of things I couldn't make a video out of, but I just keep getting swamped. Like it sucks. Because there's so much silly stuff I see at a fleeting glance. Like that deer today, the mink that one time, the heron coming up on me. That again, I just had the kids. This summer has been brutal. Like my back, my feet are hurt. I've been something awful. It's been really tough to keep getting out, but Oh man. I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah,
Yeah, back problem is no fun.
No. Not
I've
at all.
been there.
No, permanent. It's awful. Yeah, it is awful. I mean, sometimes, especially in winter, it seems to be worse when it's cold outside. It's really bad. In summer, it goes away, more or less.
Yeah.
So they try and tell you if you speak to a doctor, they'll try and tell you that's rubbish. But, they're not experiencing it, but they'll tell you it's rubbish. You say, oh, it's nothing to do with winter and summer. Yeah, of course it is. And it makes sense as well. As in physics, it makes sense why it would, hurt more in winter.
Yeah.
With your body contracts, your muscles contract, and everything with the cold, and that makes perfect sense to why it would hurt. So doctors talking rubbish, basically.
Yeah. I remember before I hurt my back, I had no problems in the cold whatsoever. Now, after I hurt my back, if I start to get just a little bit cold, I start getting like cramps down my lower back, and I just can't get rid of them until I'm warm again. So
I lean on the radiator.
Yeah.
I sit on the floor, put me back on the radiator, put the heating on. Ah, heaven. And then, until you have to move, of course.
My big issue is my back. It's this balancing act between. I don't like to sit. When I sit, my lower back, around my hips get very stiff. So I like to get up and walk and move. Then my hips and my feet start to hurt from walking too much. So I have to sit. It's like balancing, because if I sit too long, my back ends up hurting. If I walk too long, my back ends up hurting. But I have to do both enough to be able to kind of keep the other in check. It's this super annoying balancing act, especially like on days, again, it's first world problems. But when I have to sit and edit videos and it's like an hour of editing and go like more tedious ones, sometimes I feel I just feel slovenly, like I was just getting done being sick, almost like just from sitting there nonstop doing just that. And I literally get desires. Like, that's what's been such a bummer about the rain recently. It seems to, like, when I had the chance to go out, maybe if my kids were relaxing, it was pouring rain out and I couldn't get out of the house. And I get very anxious and almost frustrated with that. So one thing we started to do is go to the malls here and walk around on rainy days, I should say, where it was just too much to get out. But again, it's nice to get them out walking around, actually moving. But again, that's my biggest hurdle, is trying to make sure I balance that out, because, I when I was in the Marines, I used to say, because I hate running. I used to run really well, but I used to hate it. But my philosophy was running is only 50% getting there, and the other 50% is just getting back. And what I'm getting at is sometimes I forget. I'll go out on my walk for an hour and I'm like, oh, I still got an hour to come back. I'm such a bonehead, and like by the end, there's, my feet will be sore. I'll have to take a day off because certain, like, these boots are different and rubbing different. Like if I walk in these too much at the top, where the top of the boot is, I'll literally have sores from where it rubs from just walking too much. But again, those are days where I'm out here. I come out here when the sun comes up, and then I go back in, eat lunch, come back out, put my waders on, come back out, live stream, do, all that, just go and eat dinner, come back out. I'm out here all day sometimes, and I need to stop sometimes.
Know the feeling. I've got builder's boots on now. I wear them all the time, all day long. Get up in the morning, put builder's boots on.
There's a pair of Duluth model. They're American-made boots that I'm looking at, that I want to go see if I can find. The issue is and I hate this about the new norm in America, where because everything's online, I don't like going online. I like to go try on the boots and see them. But because now everyone resorts to, oh, you can just get it online. If I go try on boots, they may not have the I don't know if model is the right term, but that style or the size. And they always say, oh, just go buy it online. I'm like, then I buy it. It's not wide enough. I have to send it in. I still don't have my boots. And then I'm waiting. And the next size I come in, maybe two. It's like, I just want to go to a place, try it on, and then give you the money for it. And I can't even do that in today's day and age. People are literally forcing me, saying, no, go give the company the money online or something. It doesn't make sense to me. And I'm going to mute it because we got the garbage guys coming here in a minute.
I prefer to buy online. I don't know how you do.
Lots of people do, and I get it. That's just, it's not me, so to speak.
I prefer it. Much prefer it. It means I don't have to go shopping, which I hate. The wife went shopping this morning. First thing, she's still shopping. And she'll be excited when she gets back that she's been shopping. And then she wants to show me what she's bought from shopping. And she'll be excited about that. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. No. I really hate it. It's boring. It's nothing. Did you bring me back any mantis? No. Don't tell me then. That's it. Scary thing is, she's gone to a pet shop, so she may have come back with a spider, which I'll be very upset about if she has. She was talking about that earlier. I bought her a couple of spiders online that are going to be not only the Balfouris. I got some others, but they're not coming. They're too small at the moment. They're not coming till later in the year. I don't know why I did that. I made that rod for my own back because I really don't like the spiders. But if she likes them and it gets her involved, it really helps, doesn't it? There's more than one of you involved. If you see so many people that they're in the shed at the end of the garden with the spiders. I think you poor sod, your wife doesn't like your inverts. That must be the case. So it's nice to have her involved in stuff and like playing with the spiders, playing with the snails and the mantis. I'm quite lucky in that respect. There's a lot of them.
Are you going to Bristol?
I don't know what we're doing yet. It pretty much depends on these two guys because they should be hatching around then.
Okay.
So I've got to wait to see when these guys lay. And if they haven't hatched before that, I can go. If they have, I have no chance. Because they normally have around 350 to 400 nymphs each. So I'd end up with another 800 or so mantis to look after.
Yeah.
Now I could just say to my son, with what I've got at the moment, I've only got about 150. I could say to my son, come over for the day, feed the mantis. But I'm not going to sift him up if I've got like 1,000 mantis here. I'm not going to say, come over and feed the mantis. There's only 1,000 of them. That just, I'm not doing that to someone else. I have to stay on and do it myself. So
yeah,
I'd like to go. Just pretty much like the last one. It was just to say hi to people.
Yeah.
I mean, like you yourself, you're not buying anything.
How far is it a trip for you?
I've got to have a guess about 3 hours in the car.
Oh, so that's pretty significant.
Near all day at the show, and then it's probably too late to come home. So you have to stay there, and it's money and time. It's money and time that I don't want to spend, to be honest. One of them things, isn't it? It's a lot more money and time for Trond than it is for me.
Yeah, it's a bit of a trip, but hey, it's worth it.
I still have not been to any kind of show, expo or show, or whether it's reptiles or inverts or anything. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, because there is one here that they do it every second Saturday of the month, which is this coming one. But the way it normally works out is I have my daughters every 2 weeks And the way it's fallen is it like every day of that expo has been the day of that I exchanged custody with my ex. So I couldn't go. So, but this is one that's lining up where I may be able to go this coming Saturday. So I'm kind of eager about that, but I don't want to. I'm just debating if I want to actually go or wait for another one. But kind of like, why not? Why not now? But I don't know if my biggest thing is I don't know if I want to buy anything, and that's I always feel like I'm wasting people's time just if I'm not buying anything, and I feel like a burden. So I'm very hesitant to do that if I'm not going to buy. So I don't know how to navigate that. That's my big dilemma, really.
Well, I was going to give you advice of not taking any money.
It's not a problem when you don't have any money.
That shows are dangerous. If you've got a lot of money on you and you go to a show, you can have no money on you when you leave. That's just a problem like that.
For me, it sorts itself out because I can't bring anything home.
Yeah. That's not too bad, I suppose. But then again, it's quite annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite annoying because you're going to see stuff that you want to buy.
Oh, yeah. I know there's stuff I want to buy because I know Tim Baxter's going to be there.
Who's that? I'm not familiar with the name.
He's a Scorpion guy.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, he's really big on Scorpions in the UK. So
really big. So, it's going to be an absolute gutter. I mean, every time I've been at a show, there's loads of stuff I want to buy, and I'm thinking, nah. And I've managed so far to just buy what I went for.
Yeah.
And then we get in the car, and the wife has a big bag of all the things we didn't go for. Because she comes on with the stuff. She just buys random stuff. I got these that were pretty, and that's why I have to put up with it. And I last show we went to was Barnsley. I think I spent £9. I bought some millipedes. That was it. That I'd already prearranged. And yet the wife bought spiders and jumping spiders and mantis and God knows what she came out with. Loads of crap. Little signs and all sorts of stuff you put in enclosures and skulls and God knows what.
Was she in the hobby before she met you, or did she get into the hobby by meeting you?
Yeah, she's going after.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't really. She's a serious city girl. She's more into shoes than anything else. She's the absolute epitome of what you think of when you think of city girl. Shoes and clothes. Whereas now she's more getting
refined.
Getting more into the animals. She'd never noticed them.
Yeah, to me that's more refined.
Yes, she just never noticed the animals was there until I started pointing them out. So that a bird was a bird. It wasn't a particular species. It was just a bird.
Mm-hmm.
Until I started saying, no, that's such a bird, and that's a different bird, and that's a different bird, or whatever. And it's over the years, she's managed to grasp some of it, and other things just don't go in. I just tell her, and it just doesn't go in. It just doesn't stay there. And she'll call it a thingy, or something that looks like a robin is still a Christmas bird. So when she says there's a Christmas bird in the garden, she means a robin because she never remembers the name.
I've never. What's the significance of that? I've never heard him called a Christmas bird.
It's because they're on Christmas cards here.
Okay, so they're not here. That's so different.
You'll see the Christmas card with the snow and the pine trees, and there's always a robin in the middle.
Okay.
Rest and whatnot. Your robins are slightly different from ours anyway. Yours look different, don't they?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching an article where I want to say it was in 2019. An American robin made it to through some storm to the UK, and everyone was not up in arms, but oh, look at that, it's kind of cool. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's pretty much like your magpies are different from ours. You still call it a magpie. Yeah, they're still in training though, aren't they, Trond? I mean, we still try to teach them.
Yeah.
It's going to take a few hundred more years, I think. But there you go.
We'll get there. We'll grow up.
Yeah. Well, I better call this a day. I mean, it's just some long test, wasn't it?
Yeah, my phone's about 15% anyway. I was about to mention that too.
No, it's been a seriously long test. But thanks for joining me anyway. I can say it works, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So
it does.
when I do a stream next time, I won't have to worry about whether it works or not, because now I know. I just looked then. I got these mantis here to send out tonight, and I just realised I've missed the post. So they're going out in the morning now. So somebody's going to be pissed off with me either way.
Better to be pissed off than pissed on, right?
Yeah, true. I suppose it is. I'll come up with some excuse, and then they'll say, "I'll start the stream." You're just making an excuse, so I can't win that. But yeah, it's just pure ignorance. Anyway, thank you for that, guys. I'll see you next
no
time.
problem. It was fun.
Yeah, it was different. See you later.
Cheers, guys.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Good night.